This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Six White Dudes and a Lady. We've swapped out one white dude for a different white dude, but the lady's still the same. So, when last we left, y'all were on the hunt for an escaped fugitive of short stature and shiny head. Kor had escaped the room that you had locked him in and escaped into the sewers. After you had all received various gifts from Mayor Alvaron and Ergen, and Lami had a brief encounter with a priest of Bahamut, which no one seemed to notice that dude was there. Came in, gave his gift, said some very cryptic things to Lami, and then left. All of you kind of geared up and moseyed your way downstairs. After Robbie blasted the hole that Robo-Core had escaped down, Robbie just blasted it open a little more so everyone could fit. You all began a winding maze through the tunnels underneath the mayor's estates. And so let's see, moseyed through a couple of hallways. Really nothing happened. Took a couple of turns. Lythar and Thrall were working really well together, actually, to sort of track down, looking for any kind of tracks, any kind of disturbances, anything like that, to find where your fugitive went.
Where the cherries are.
Where the cherries are. You have the cherries. Bag of cherries, if I remember correctly. And so the only thing you really know about these sewers is that a few weeks ago, the mayor is a conversation between the mayor and Thalia about a group of adventurers that had been sent down to figure out why the sewers were flooding. Things were going screwy in the sewers and no one knew why. So a party was sent down to figure out what was kind of going on with that. After a little bit of walking, you guys ended up on like a large central cistern where in an attempt to clear the poopy water around this central sort of concrete island, Thalia missed the jump but landed, so she landed in the poop, but when she landed she was still observant enough to notice the enormous pile of brush and refuge was reaching out to grab somebody. And boy, did it! It decided to grab Ronan and drag him inside.
I think Josh is being a dick.
I am.
Brandon's like, I don't have any of those on my stream.
There's none of those on my stream. Thank you.
None of
It's a
those.
Christian Minecraft server.
No, I saw Brandon watching something, and I had to type that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, I just see the reflection of what you're watching in your classes.
So Ronan got grabbed by what looked like a pile of kind of garbage poop and branches. And after a little bit of hacking and slashing, y'all were able to kill it with a little help from Robbie, and almost causing an infinite loop, but we wanted to avoid that.
Did we really
Yes.
want to, though?
Yes,
Yes.
because you would have died.
It would have been horrific. We would have blown up.
But yeah, so we have all. When last we left off, y'all were standing in a room like, come on, white balance,
White
work
piece
with
of
me.
paper.
This was the room you were standing in.
Where'd we come from?
You
Where did we
guys.
go?
Where the poop is.
So there's the center concrete island. You
Here's Cotton Eye Joe.
you cool friends. There was one.
If I hide my neck, I feel like I'm
So-
wearing
Just
a
a floating
morph suit.
So the X is the
Like
route
those
that you
edgy
guys came
80s
in.
like music videos.
Yes, from the south.
You guys came from the south into this room.
We came from behind.
Okay.
And so there are 5 offshoots. All of the water is currently flowing. You guys came from the south. It is flowing to, it's all going to your left. If you're facing south, I believe
Which
that's
is
still
west.
west. It is west.
I thought you
East.
said west.
So all the water is kind of pouring in around this island and then flowing to the west. There's a cat on my counter. Being a rapscallion.
So that would be the entrance on the left from where we came in.
That is D.
D
Okay.
for dick.
I gotcha.
So here's
D
a
for
question
downstream.
before we actually start, like talking and
Yes.
doing that stuff.
That's your recap.
I don't even know where. Oh,
Is that
Oh,
end of the
it's
recap?
Rachel!
She doesn't need the recap. She was here for all of it.
where'd it go?
Where did who go? Rachel, we're gonna buy you better internet. It's gonna be a Christmas present.
It's
Actually,
not
where
the
is it?
internet. I wish it was. My laptop just crashes Discord all the time. So
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you
try
got
to
a
have
new
the
laptop.
video. I did. It's a Dell. It's supposed to do things.
Is
I
it
don't know.
overheating?
Yeah, kind of, probably.
You could alleviate that by putting like a book under the very back of it to kind of like prop up the back of it so it's at an angle. It'll allow more
Yeah,
airflow.
it's on a laptop table thingy right now.
Ah.
I'm gonna try to just have Discord minimized, so it's not trying to update video all the time.
Mhm.
So maybe that'll help.
My big magic javelin says +1 hit, 1d6 plus 1d8 plus 1 damage. Is that on top of my proficiency +8? That +1 damage? So I would add 9 to it instead of 8.
Hold please.
Okay.
So your big scary javelin is 1d6 plus 1d8
Yes.
plus 1
Uh-huh.
plus your strength.
Does it
So
say plus
plus
1 to
8.
hit?
It
He was
is
asking
also
for
plus
his
1 to
plus-
hit. Oh, wait.
to hit.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is
'cause
a
it's-
separate +1 because it's +1 to hit and +1 damage because Maury
Put the thing.
has worked his magic on it.
Okay.
So you have a +9 to hit with that.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yes, that's how math. It's often 8 plus 1 equals 9.
I think I've just been going off of my roll if I hit or not. I don't think I've been adding 8.
You
Oops.
add 8 to hit because it's your strength plus your proficiency modifier,
that's how
which
that
just
works.
went up. So that's
Now
why
it's-
it
yeah.
used to be probably 7 plus 1 to 8. Now it is 8 plus 1 to 9 because y'all leveled up.
Okay.
So welcome to the power spike. Here we go.
Yeah.
So Rachel, I just gave a brief recap. You killed the shambling mound. Good job. Now you're all standing in that central cistern. And there is your map. If someone will.
Cool.
All you guys came from the X, and all the water is flowing west into a much larger tunnel. But you have 4 other offshoots that water is flowing down, scattered around the various paths.
Lytha, can you use... Oh, hi.
Can you use autofocus? God, I wish I could.
Could you...
That was an Edgy's 80 movie right there.
It's like I'm down here somewhere, and that's like...
Guys, we're off to a
Yeah,
great start.
right?
Anyway,
can you try to use your tracking to see if you can find out which way Cole went?
I mean,
Thrall could also look, but
I think so. There's an off. I'm not used to tracking underground in the city like this, but I'll help where I can.
well, you're useless.
I'm not useless. I live in the woods, guy.
With the cherries.
Be
If I-
nice to the tiny elf.
If I help, will you stop it with the cherries?
I will stop it with the cherries. Yes.
Technically, I should have stopped with the cherries a long time ago, but it's just fun to poke fun at him.
I'm
Well, I
changing
think so.
my notes in my little notebook to be like
I will stop with the cherries.
crossing out hates cherries.
Cherries? Question mark. Yeah, I can help, but I'm not much of a tracker. I'm not much of a tracker for people.
Thrall, could you work your magic? your sniffer, as it were. I don't know how tracking works. I'm just kind of guessing.
On Chris saying that, I'm gonna go ahead and just smell the other paths.
What are you smelling
that is dope.
for?
Just I want to know which one smells like what.
They
Does
all.
does one smell real bad? Does one smell slightly better?
They
So
all
so
smell like
the
shit.
the path where the water is flowing down smells extra pungent. And so to the north, those two paths, one of them smells fresher, like the people there are getting like a pretty healthy diet. One of them smells like just like grease and fat and grossness.
So they all
Yeah.
smell like shit.
They all you're downstream of a sewer, man. Like it's all gonna smell like shit.
Okay.
But there are some like actually give me a perception check and a con save.
Oh jeez.
Oh, dragon's gonna barf.
You see what you've done?
It's good.
Plus
does that mean
5 on your
does
con
that
save,
mean he
you'll be
blows
fine.
fire?
I do.
What,
I
what
do
does he?
plus
What
five
does
on
he
the
blow?
con save. So that is a 15 on the con save and a 13 on the perception check.
So yeah, you get like as you walk past, as you kind of circle around this concrete island, you're getting smells, and you could smell some vague differences. It smells not enough to make you gag, although it's close with the really fatty, pungent one. But other than that, there's really no noticeable difference.
Well, I think we go left. It smells the worst, and bad things like smelly places.
Roll, would you like to agree or disagree?
Yeah, I can
were,
help.
You were one who helped us get here. Oh my
Yeah, I can
god,
help.
camera! Arrgh.
So yeah, Brandon,
Because
if
the
you,
light, Chris.
Brandon, if you want to make what were we doing earlier? Survival.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think-
Roll survival at advantage.
Oh,
Because Lythar will help you out here.
For Christmas, my girlfriend got me a watch that tells me I'm stressed.
I'm stressed.
advantage.
I'm pretty sure that's just a girlfriend.
17
That's
just
with
normal.
advantage.
with advantage. Yes.
Telling you you're stressed, not stressing you out. There's a very important difference there. So yeah, with Lythar's help, you're able to kind of sift through some of the tracks and figure out what was the shambling mound, what happened during the fight. Robbie is kind of standing like basically where he stopped the fight.
As
And as you guys are kind of processing through this, he's just kind of piping up, being like, and then I moved here and did X, and perfectly replicates what he did before. So with that, you guys are able to kind of piece together this, what was in the fight, and you can eliminate those variables and then figure out what was in these paths. And there's been a couple of trails. None of them are going down further into the sewers. You have one heading due. You have a pair of tracks heading due east.
Well, that's the
you have
opposite way that we thought to go.
You have a pair of tracks heading northwest, and a pair. There's a pair of tracks that looks like it's heading northeast, but you kind of lose them a little ways into the tunnel. They're a little older tracks.
I like how confused Zach looks.
He does.
You're just like really close to your camera, just like.
Actually, with a
Opposite
17,
of Kendrick.
you actually see you see to the northwest, you see there's much more traffic off this way. Like there have been multiple sets of feet kind of running in this direction.
What kind of feet?
That's up to Thrall to tell you guys that information. Just because you heard it from me doesn't mean that you don't know it. Because that's a rule that I've been really bad about enforcing.
You have been.
This is fun.
I feel like Zach's doing homework.
Yeah. I'll just see the schoolwork with him.
18 divided by 2. Well, if I carry the 1, subdivide by the square root.
So Thrall, what did you see?
Chris.
Fuck me, that's terrifying. Anyway,
Did Thrall
We all
die?
turn our lights off
Did
when,
Thrall die?
Kendrick is here.
Did Thrall
What?
die?
so
I
yeah,
hope not.
so Thrall, you have all that information. What you pass along to everyone else is up to you, because that's something I've been really bad about providing is that information, or providing information to certain people. So I can
Should
repeat that if
whisper
you'd
it
like.
to us.
Yeah. Can you repeat the last part? Last couple?
So there are tracks going northwest, northeast, and due east. The northwest path, the northwestern tunnel, has a little more activity through it, especially recently. It seems like there's been either a lot of single people walking through or a large group moving through that area within the last month or so.
Well, seems there's a lot of tracks. Would you guys rather follow the tracks that have more activity, or the less beaten path?
Which one is which?
The north. Would you guys want to go northwest, north, or northeast?
Well, we're looking for core, so should we?
What do the tracks look like?
Do they smell like tracks? I don't recommend smelling.
Do they smell like poop? Everything else down here smells like poop.
It's safe to assume everything smells like poop.
Did you smell them?
That's a very safe assumption.
Um,
Everything smells like poop.
well,
Yeah, I did dip the finger in it.
smell
Yeah,
like
tastes like somebody else's dinner.
well, we are looking for core, so the chances of him being in
With
the
a bunch of
tracks
people.
with a bunch of people, well, it would be hard. It would be harder for us to know that he was there. A bunch of tracks, and I don't know if he would know that. So he could just be this one set of tracks, or he could have been smart and go where all the tracks went.
Dude,
How
dwarves have
smart
tiny
was
feet.
core?
About how large are dwarves' feet?
About half the size of mine.
Thrall, what did the tracks look like?
Are they tiny feet or big feet?
It seems as if that was a foot.
That's when you ask Curtis
You're
what the
welcome,
tracks
So
look like.
from what you saw, the tracks are all vaguely.
Poop like.
There's been enough wear on a lot of these that it's especially on the heavily trodden path. It's hard to see. The tracks leading to the northeast are fresher, but it's kind of hard to tell because everything is kind of sludgy. It's hard to tell how. It's hard to get an actual size because it's all semi-solid, so it kind of like flows in on itself. It's like stepping in really viscous mud.
I don't know.
Thrall, what do you propose?
Well, if we're going to find core, we should probably go towards the fresher tracks, which are to the northeast.
Let's go there.
Well, let's proceed that way.
Sounds like a
Was
plan.
that the smelly one?
That smelled a little more like rancid fat and grossness.
Oh, that's the one I didn't want to go down.
Should we regain our? Is it light down that path?
You can. There's enough light to see that it goes, and then kind of it jinks hard to the right.
Hold the phone.
So we need to go in our. Some people can't see, and some people can't see.
In formation, your
Someone
the
hold
conga
my
line of
hand.
visibility.
I'm I'm gonna hop back on Frank's shoulders.
I'm gonna go
Y'all
ahead
have
and
y'all have torches, just so we're clear.
I'm
Well, we're
gonna
trying
go
to be
ahead.
sneaky.
What if we
Use
light it
torches.
and everything blows up?
Yeah, methane.
I
That's
was
a choice.
wondering about
You
that.
guys do have torches, though. Just a reminder.
But are we
I'm
trying
gonna
to
go
be...
ahead and use my channel divinity sacred weapon, which makes my sword emit a bright light for 20 feet and a dim light for 20 feet beyond that.
How long does that last?
Fancy.
It just lasts 1 minute, but considering we're not
better
in
run.
combat, it'd be kind of
Got
cool to just
something-
do.
I've
It's just
got,
an action.
I've got a light cantrip that lasts an hour, I think.
Can you put light on my fancy javelin? That way I can throw it.
Would you be willing to accept that the lighted sword lasts a long time, but we're not in combat, so I'm not getting anything?
So it lasts a minute. However, that does burn your channel divinity.
It does.
I would. So for 2
You're right.
people, I feel like casting light is a good idea.
Who
Lami,
all
give
knows
me
light?
Lami, give me a religion check.
Okay.
We're gonna have you pray this one away.
I like this. Oh, that's the bad D20. We're not going to use that one.
I have orc friends.
Roll for prayer.
Hi.
My boy.
It was just gonna be straight wisdom. Actually,
It's a nat 20. We're good. Everything's great.
Hey,
So-
first roll of the game.
yeah.
think.
No,
No,
second.
third.
They're
Third.
third.
Yeah, third.
Because Brandon had rolled
Yeah,
an advantage.
he got
so,
15.
So
I
yeah.
didn't have
So
advantage, I had 4.
Oh,
and that's why advantage is great.
it is.
Lami kind of pulls out his sword, kind of holds it in his hands like this, kind of closes his eyes, and you feel it feels like your flame breath, but instead of coming out of your mouth, it runs down your hand and then into your sword.
Yo.
Starts to burn silver.
Yo.
So there's these rippling silver flames, throwing light in all directions. And so yeah, you are now providing light for the rest of the party.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys want to go down, stroll your way down A or
Yes.
down the northeast path?
Do we want to
Indeed.
stealth?
I don't think we can stealth
I-
with
I-
the
you
flaming
can't-
sword.
It's hard to stealth with a giant flaming sword. It is not. Also, you have like a dude and a half in heavy armor, which is also not conducive to stealthing.
Yeah. We're not a
Right.
sneaky party.
Also,
We were
when
totally stealthing though last.
yeah, you were
little
because
bit.
Robbie helped.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Robbie,
Passive
Robbie
aggressive.
also
also
trace.
looks. Robbie
In
also
fact,
looks.
you
at
might
her.
as well whip out those bagpipes right now and just let her rip.
play a jaunty tune. So yeah, also when
Inspire
your
us to be
sword
stealthy.
when your sword begins to glow, Robbie like he jerks his head over to you and locks eyes with you and goes, "That's interesting."
Indeed,
And
it's
he,
my
he
I'm
looks at
gonna-
his,
I'm
he
gonna-
looks at his hand. He looks at his hand, and he looks at it, and like his face doesn't change because it's still a metal mask, but it looks like he's really like you get the feeling that he's focused on it.
Mhm.
He's very intently focused at it. I cannot do that on command. Can you? How did you do that?
Maybe you'll learn someday, tiny metal man.
Perhaps I will.
I don't. How tall is Robbie? I don't. Really
Robbie
know.
is exactly 6 feet.
So
He's
is
smaller
not
than you
that
and I,
small.
Chris.
Everyone is smaller than everyone's smaller than the Goliath and the dragon,
True. So
which is really like good advice for life.
Shall we? Shall we?
Let's do it.
Do you guys want to establish any kind of marching order, or do we want to go with the same one we had last time?
I'm gonna say since I have the light, maybe it makes sense for me to go first.
Is there? Can we have a dark vision person in the back?
I got it
That'll be
covered.
smart.
There are enough of you, so it's 30 feet of bright light and 30 feet of dim light.
Okay.
Each of you takes up 5 feet, so you guys have 30 feet of vision outside of like your conga line,
We good.
and
But we
it's
need-
throwing light. It's throwing light down the hallways.
We do need Thrall near the front so he can look at feet, as it were.
Lythar may help with that as well.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can. I'll go second. If
I will take up the rear.
I'm going frontsies. I'm the
So-
choo-choo train.
So you're
Chrissy
third.
caboose.
Do you want to
I
be
am the
third,
caboose.
Lummy? Because the other two want to be in front to see tracks.
Sure.
So this hallway, as you guys kind of start chugging along, the tracks, as you're following them, continue to get fresher and fresher and fresher. So you go down this hallway probably 200 feet. This just like it's kind of twisting a little bit. Very gradual twists because they're expensive. Curves are expensive to make. There's very few rats in this portion of the sewer. And as you're coming, you come to a T-junction.
I'll make my beard straight.
And everybody make
Ooh,
actually
don't you take my roll away from me. I was excited.
sorry, what did you come to a T-junction? I'll just back up to there. What do you want to do? You evil wizard. I need to run a game like that. That's so much more terrifying. Just the face in the hand. Like I'm fighting I'm having all these Super Smash Brothers flashbacks to fighting Master Hand.
Oh god, the hand.
And you can't even
Keep
see
it
the
casual,
die,
please.
really. It's-
Anyway, I'm gonna just say, look puzzled down each one and go, which way?
Lythar's gonna look over at Thrall and be like, I lost his tracks like 10 feet back. Do you have anything?
Thrall. A direction?
I think we should go right.
Should go right.
Okay.
Did-
Do you guys go to the right?
Which way do the tracks go?
Can we perception? I just want to roll.
Your turn will come.
Hmm.
Actually, Thrall, make a wisdom roll at advantage again.
0.
Wait a second.
That's not how
How do you-
dice work.
Fuck you.
Instead of showing a dice,
it's
it's just a
11.
little finger.
11. So yeah, it looks like the fresher tracks go off to the right. There's some older tracks going to the left, but the fresh ones go to the right.
I'd just say the group that seems like the fresher tracks are to the right. So
Then to
we
the
should
right
go to the
we
right.
shall go.
Excellent idea. To the left.
No, to the right. Lummy.
He
Take it
said
back.
he said left.
No, he said right.
So
take
everybody
it back now, y'all.
actually so Deke, you hear this conversation. You hear this sort of back and forth. No, we go left. No, we go right. Back the tunnel that you came just probably like 20-30 minutes ago. You went out scrounging.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
you just kind of got home and just got comfy.
Yeah.
Like kick up your feet.
Oh no.
You what's his
Ooh.
what's your little buddy's name?
Did you just have a
Bojangles.
hand deliver you alcohol?
Yes, Bojangles is his name.
Bojangles, yes. Bojangles is he's like perched on your, he's like kind of
Good
tucked
chicken.
in.
That's how
into your
my
shirt?
room works too.
He's
Can
like,
I have a hand?
he's kind of tucked into your shirt a little bit, like he's nestling in, like he's ready for a
Well,
nap. And
Can
you
I?
just- you hear these two booming voices going, "No, we go left. No, we go right. No, he said left."
So I'm gonna whisper to Bojangles. I'm gonna say, "All right, down the hall you go. We're gonna do the thing." And so Bojangles, he leaps out of my chest and he goes, and he goes scurrying down the hall. And I don't really know the map, but he's gonna go scurrying down the hall out of sight. So, and I position myself in the middle of the hallway. And I just kind of put my little tiefling arms in front of me, and I wait.
Okay.
I'm terrified right
So
now.
as you guys go down the right hand path, the light of this sword just kind of burning before you. you come down the hall, and it kind of does a huge loop around, and you finish the end of this U bend, and your blazing bright sword. Deke, you can see this light bouncing off around the corner, and from around the corner, just like you see the weirdest parade. You see an elf, an orc, and a dragon with a flaming sword, and kind of parked up. You can't see really much behind the dragon except what looks like the biggest humanoid you've ever seen, like pressed with his shoulders up against the roof of the sewer tunnel you're in, and they're just all just kind of bickering about what direction they're supposed to go.
All right. So have they spotted?
When they turn the corner, yes, because
Okay.
you're just parked in the middle of the hall.
Hey, what are you doing down here? This is my home. Can't you see?
Who are you talking to?
Who else am I talking to? Only the 6 people with a giant flaming sword down
Who's
the hall
that?
from me.
Who is
I'm
this?
Who's that?
I'm Deke, and this is my sewer.
Who's
if you're gonna
Deke?
come through,
Curtis, what do I see?
if you're gonna come down here, you gotta pay the toll.
No.
So real quick, Zach, can you describe what
Taxation
everyone
is
sees
theft.
Okay,
in
so-
this middle of the hall?
Deke is a 4'2", tiny little tiefling. He has long and stringy, kind of like dark purplish kind of hair, kind of a slender face, and he's wearing some really tattered clothes. But despite living in the sewer, his skin seems very, very clean, and he has 2 rapiers to the side of him on either side, and a nice little backpack. And he's just standing there like this, putting his fingers together, kind of yelling down the hall.
What color did you say you were?
I'm tiefling colored.
Well, they come in multiple colors.
He has orc friends.
It's usually
I'm,
a blue.
We're being welcoming.
This pertains to my backstory, if I'm mad here or not.
I'm let's say I'm gray.
You're gray. Okay.
So, toll. Let's have it.
I walk forward and imposingly.
Small human. Have you considered living somewhere less smelly?
Smelly. You brought the smelly with you.
Is that accurate?
To him, it is.
Very particular about hygiene down here. Yes, I know, ironic. I live in a sewer, but all of you smells like you haven't showered in weeks.
He's not wrong, you know.
We did step in the poo.
I
I
am
didn't
covered
stop
in
in
poo.
Dreadful.
I just haven't showered in a couple weeks.
Ew.
We were discussing the terms of the toll. So, the toll.
I'm going
There's more of
to
us.
walk
Why?
up
Why?
to him.
Why
Oh!
should we?
Hold on. Let Chris
Wait,
say something. Chris has
I'm-
been trying to say something.
I'm
so-
going to
sorry,
walk
Chris.
up to him and kneel down on one knee in front of him and go, "We're not paying a toll. Your kind have wronged me,
Oh yeah.
and I'm not putting up with this."
Roll intimidation, please.
Perfect.
Do it. Do you want me to contest it?
Please.
I
Yes,
can't
please.
see the dice. Where's my phone?
I feel we'll make that a whiz save.
Ooh.
16.
Well, I have an 18 plus 4, so 22.
This massive smelly Goliath who upon closer inspection looks like he ripped a ballista bolt and is using it as like a walking stick, leans down and basically goes, No.
Let's back up here for a second. And Deke actually backs up. He's like, "Now listen, me, Steek, I'm not a very particularly stingy kind of man. They don't call me Steek, the stingy one. No, they don't. But here's what I'll say. You come to my home. This is my home. Say hi, hello. I've got my wonderful paintings over there hanging on the wall. Yes, I'm a bit of an art aficionado. But would you let
Curtis,
someone
what's hanging on the wall?
Steek, what's hanging on the wall behind you? What is your perfect particular art of passion?
Oh, it showed Frone's famous painting of the oceans of Lavenworth.
Is that
It's
really
not.
there?
It you know,
Is it a
actually,
piece of
Ronan,
duct tape?
Ronan, as it is not a piece of poop taped to a wall because that's where the actual money. That's what happened to the banana. It's actually
So it is
for,
the banana.
for being like it looks Ronan. It looks very similar to some paintings you saw like in your hometown. Like for what he's got, it's not bad. Like he's not a bad artist. It's just not as nice as he says it is. But it does have a really nice frame around it that someone probably threw away a couple of years ago.
So I
No,
can
here's
see
the thing.
this.
Here's the thing. The toll. It's not gold. It's not silver.
Deke, I have a question.
Yeah.
Has anybody else shiny looking run
Shiny?
past you?
Oh, lots of people come down here. In fact, just not too long ago, there was a bit of commotion down the way in some tunnels. Whole group of folk, they paid the toll. But shiny folk, there was kind of a loud guy coming through here. He looked all mean and angry, and wasn't able to really talk to him in time. Real short dude. He didn't seem too keen on talking, and he didn't pay the toll. But rest you assure, he's gonna come back and he's gonna pay the toll.
What is the toll for?
Deke, what is your toll?
Toenails. Just one each. One toenail.
A whole toenail.
Not the whole thing. Just a snip.
So here's my proposition.
Yeah.
So-
I keep my toenail, and you keep your paintings on the wall.
Now here's the thing, and I thought it might. And so, and let's just, Curtis. Let's assume that my little friend, I've set up a contraption down the thing, and a little light from down the hall appears, and you see the shadow of a giant, mean-looking rat coming around the tunnel. I was like, if you don't get my toenails, then my mean, angry monster down there. You see him? Yep. And I kind of move my hand and go, yep. He's gonna have to come deal with you, and that would be quite unfortunate, wouldn't it?
roll. Roll. I don't want to give it away. Roll deception at advantage because that's amazing. Everyone in the group roll a wisdom save.
Oh no.
Deception is
You're already at +6.
oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 26, not 20.
Oh god. All right, so everybody roll your whiz saves, please.
I got 15.
Well,
Got a 14.
7.
I got an 18, but that doesn't really do much.
No.
Yeah, I got an 18 also.
It worked.
So actually, as this is all kind of happening, Lythar also failed. However, I need to confirm on one quick thing. I don't think
No
Warforged
toenails, just
can be feared.
Ooh.
Can you fear a Warforged?
I know they're immune to disease.
Yeah, because they're not real.
Because they're robots.
D&D, that's D&D Online. This is where I wish Mike was here.
He would know.
He would, because he's done a lot of. He's advantage on saving throws. He also crits.
Ooh.
So
what happens to us?
That's okay. So the rest of you see the shadow, like you hear the like you hear the noise, and you hear the sound of this scrabbling rat, and it sounds like it's about 8 feet long, and like will just chew you up and like just enjoy your femur for a couple of days after it's done with you. And Lythar starts like he's kind of like stepping back and he's reaching for his boot like he's gonna take it off. And Robbie towards the back of the line goes, "Excuse me. I don't believe that is real." And he turns and starts walking down the hall.
Hey, listen, you do not want to go down there. Very dangerous, very literally bite your face off.
I'm gonna back up a couple feet and I'm gonna say, Mr. Deek, be reasonable.
Excuse me, it's actually Reek. Mr. Reek, thank you. Yes.
Reek, Deek, Shriek.
Shriek, just Reek.
What am I to do if I have no toenails?
You see, I suppose we could make an arrangement. What do you have?
I'm not sure.
As Robbie kind of is walking and he stops and he turns, he goes, "My toenails are artificial. I don't believe I even have toes." And turns and continues walking down the hall.
Excuse me, no, you do not want to be going down that hall. Again, very dangerous to inorganics as yourself.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. That's going to be a 19.
What's his wisdom save? Would you say you had a 19?
Yes.
Okay. So he stops and he goes, "This creature will consume inorganics. You have seen it consume inorganics?"
Oh, many, many times. Very, very dangerous, very vicious.
And he turns and just starts walking towards you and he locks eyes with you. And these purple eyes are just staring at you as he continues to walk towards you. And he just pushes past everybody else and he gets to you. And instead of crouching, he just bends at the waist. And so he's looking directly down at you and goes, "What other inorganics? Are there others like me?"
Yeah, others just like you. I saw 3 last week. And then also there was this guy named Bob. Bob came down. Bob had a metal eye, and that was kind of inorganic. And oh man, you better seen Bob's eye. That got chumped up real good. Yes. Other inorganics, yes. I saw inorganic birds just the other week. Here, this is my home.
Where did you see the inorganics?
In my home, right here.
In this room, you
Or
saw
the
Yeah.
birds on the ground.
Lots of people come through here. You know, lost
lots
birds.
of birds.
Lost. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I know it's a sewer, but lots of
Machine
weird shit
birds.
down here. Yes, they went meow, meow, and it was very scary. But you know, beast, chomp chomp. So how about the toe?
I'm
What
not
reason
sure I
would
want
you
to
like
even
Insight
go.
check on this.
I'm not sure I want to go
About
past
the-
this
what are you looking
toll
to insight?
booth.
I am looking to see if he's been lying about the inorganics.
Yeah, roll insight.
Oh, 11?
Roll Zach, roll persuasion.
Persuasion, eh?
Roll persuasion against that.
Okay. Nat 20. I'm sorry. I can send you a screenshot, but it's nat 20.
You absolutely believe that he's 100% correct about these inorganics. There are apparently machine birds that fly into his house regularly. Also, his house, for a better descriptor, is basically it looks like it's underneath an abandoned room. There's a grate in the ceiling that looks like it's been stopped up with something, but it's basically like a 50 by 50 room, like dead end pipe. And it's got some water and stuff trickling down through. The water looks clean enough.
Hygiene, very important.
But this is basically like the dead end of a pipe that he's like sort of sequestered and made his own. But yeah, you absolutely believe that metal birds have run through here. And a whole bunch of other metal things have run through here. The rest of the party's a little more suspicious. But you in particular, like, no, I don't see any proof on the contrary. Like,
Am I still scared of the rat? Or did
what
I?
is the rat doing currently?
It kind of it's getting closer. The shadow's growing bigger. Oh, you see that? Look. Oh, looks like it's getting closer. Looks like you're gonna have to get those toenails. Go. Let's see them.
Mr. Reek.
Yes.
Would you-
No, it's not. It's Feet. Please. My name is Feet.
That's
Mr.
not what you
Deke,
said.
Mr. Feet. Would you accept?
It's not.
Would you accept spit as payment?
Is it poisonous?
Do you want it to be?
No.
No, definitely not. Nope.
Just normal spit will do.
Normal it is.
All right. So Feet's gonna pull out. He pulls out a little vial. And he just comes it up to your face. Let's have it.
I'm gonna spit in the vial.
Sure. I don't need to check for that. You've done it enough times.
And he kind of
Ronan
gives
is
it a little.
growing.
And then
So Feek, it's a little
Feet.
like
Feet.
feet. I'm sorry, feet. It's warm. It's warm in your hand. This spit is like unnaturally warm
Okay.
in your hands.
Gross.
So like when,
Like-
when you're holding it, you're like, ooh, it's a nice little hand warmer that he made you on those cold nights here in Cormvor.
Ronan is
Lythar,
growing increasingly frustrated.
Lythar, like it was in the middle of like taking off his boot, and he looks down the hall. And he goes, I don't believe it. He puts his boot back on and starts walking down the hall towards the light. He goes,
Hey.
I don't know shit about sewers, but there's no way a rat's that big.
Hey, excuse me. You have not paid the toll, and you are not permitted to go through my house till you've paid the toll.
I'm going to grab Feet by the shoulder and say,
I
am not paying your toll, little man.
What would you like to do, Zach?
I was gonna try to dodge out of the way of his grab because
If you want to, you can absolutely give it a whirl.
yeah, absolutely. I just want to move just before he hits me. Yeah.
So, Chris, make a strength check to grab him. Zach, you have a strength or dex to get away. Your choice.
Dex.
Dex.
That is going to be 6.
A strength check?
I think he beats that on his modifier alone.
Yeah, I rolled a 10. So
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're out of focus, but you're fine. There you go. So yeah, Deke, Feet, you try to like shimmy out of the way of this enormous hand, kind of coming out of the shadows like Chris's face just did. You're like, boom, and it grabs you by the shoulder and pulls you in close to this face. It's sort of sidelit by these eerie shadows, like this flickering flame. And they're like the face of this Goliath is inches from yours. We will not pay your toll.
Well, could you at least take a shower?
I'm gonna
God, stinking the place up.
I'm gonna look over to Ronan and say, "Look, just be reasonable, Ronan.
no.
Just pay the troll's toll if you want to get in."
Get the boys home.
What will you do with the toenails?
That is strictly for my business only, especially
I
not
think
while mother is watching, especially.
How many toenails do you have?
Well, a rough estimate, 207.
Oh,
A lot of people come down to the sewers.
While this conversation is happening, you guys see Lythar went around the corner, and he comes back, and he's got he has just like it's a pretty sizable, but it's not this, but it's like it's a normal sized rat. It's kind of running all over, and like he's kind of just like passing it from hand to hand. And the rat seems perfectly fine with it.
Now you let go of Mr. Bojangles.
He climbed up on me, and he's holding out his hand, and Mr. Bojangles is just kind of sitting there with his feet kind of tucked in, looking around at all the big smelly people. He's
what's a
looking around.
Bojangles?
He's my rat, Mr. Bojangles. Jangles, you get back over here right now.
The rat just kind of looks back at Lythar, kind of shrugs, and then jumps down and runs over to you. Like you wouldn't it. No one else except maybe Lythar noticed that this rat just shrugged, but he's been your rat for for a while now, and Lythar is just very good with animals. And so, like, well, the rat's like, man, I gotta go. And runs back over, crawls up and parks on your shoulder. And also, it starts doing this with its hands. It starts matching, starts bouncing one of its fingers,
Nice.
kind of chittering and like playing with its whiskers. It goes back to this.
It's like Ratatouille.
Is there poop in this tunnel that we are in?
This tunnel's remarkably clean.
There's no poop anywhere.
There's very little poop in this tunnel.
I'm gonna proceed to walk past Mr. Reek Deek Feet.
It's just feet. Just feet.
Mr. Feet.
Mr. Feet, I have paid my toll. I shall proceed.
Yes, of course, by all means.
You are now in a 50 by 50 jet ed room. Congrats. There is no. You're in his house.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna look at him and go, "What's the big idea? There's nothing here."
It's my house, I told you.
All right, to the left.
I thought
then?
you said people were running through here.
In a more general sense, of course.
What do they do after they pass you?
They never said they pass me, perchance, you know. You see, this is my home. There's no way to. Did you see that it ends, right? Yes. So you can't go past the end. Unfortunately, there's a wall, and if you keep going, you're just going to go pop right into the wind. That won't really take you anywhere. So when I say,
Mr. Feet,
yeah, it's Lee.
Mr. Leet, I have a question. How
Hmm?
well do you know your way around these tunnels?
Well, it's my home. No, like the back of my own hand.
All of the tunnels?
Most of the tunnels. There are some tunnels, so don't go down those tunnels because, well, when people go down them, they don't come back.
So, Mr. Keefe,
It's excuse me. Have you been listening to me at all? It's late.
which direction did that other party go that you were talking about, and which direction did the shiny metal man go?
In the direction of that way.
Which way did he point?
He pointed out of his house, down the tunnel, back the way he came.
All in favor of just going the other way?
You excuse me. Some of you haven't paid the toll yet, so
I'm
Yeah.
not paying the toll.
well, why not?
I'm not
I
paying.
don't know what you're gonna do with my toenail.
Well, it's
Do
strictly
you know the
comfort.
number of things that you could do with a toenail?
69 about.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
So no, I will not be paying your toll. Good day, and I turn around and start to head out.
I look at the Dragonborn and I go, what's their issue?
I don't think they want to give you toenails.
So difficult these days.
Exactly why would anybody want to go into your house?
Well, strictly speaking, nobody's actually ever entered, but thought I'd give it a go. Jangles did a pretty fine job, didn't he? Yeah. Now listen. It seems to me we got a ragtag group of adventurers here. Tell me, what brings you down to my home?
A shiny metal man.
A shiny metal man like that one?
Which one?
The
Robbie is kind of standing there, like he looks like he's staring into the wall, and he goes, "Are you referring to me?"
yeah, you.
Kind of, but no.
Okay.
You said you saw a shiny metal man. Where did he go?
Yeah, he went that way.
And the other people?
Robbie, when you point, Robbie turns and sees Thalia kind of headed that way, and Robbie kind of like pulls out. He reaches his hand out, and his sword builds
Yes.
itself out of his hand, and he starts walking behind Thalia. It's kind of like,
Here's the thing, folks. You see, all of them, they go down that way, right? The other way. That's the way everyone goes. But you see, none of them come back.
That's
But-
fine.
But
It's fine.
you know, this being my home, I've explored a few times. You know, I'm a bit sneaky, small. You know, Mr. Jangles does quite a bit for me, and I would be maybe willing to guide you down into these tunnels if, the toll.
I'm going to walk a circle around him, like kind of bumping into him a couple times, like all ominously, and be like, "You may guide us, but I'm still not paying your toll."
No guide, no guide.
Mr. Tree, I have paid my toll.
Excuse me, have you been listening at all? My name is Crete.
Mr. Crate.
Crete.
I have
Crete.
That's paid my toll.
XYMML. Crete.
What?
Regardless, I've paid
Mr.
my
Bojangles looks at you kind of sidelong,
toll.
and it just like kind of gives another shrug and goes back to doing this. Just a little rap pause.
I have paid my toll. You will guide me, and these people will follow.
You see, yeah. I need at least one toenail for assurance here, and then if that's all you're willing to give, then I'll guide you. But I'm not leaving without a toenail. Just one.
If you
I
lead us
vote.
to our friend, I will give you a toenail, or
Ooh.
something else that you would like more.
And you just see Deke's. By the way, his name is Deke, but you just see Deke's eyes go, "Ooh," and he goes, "All right, this way," and he just leaves.
I'm gonna follow Mr. Teat.
I too will follow Beat.
All right.
I will also follow.
Plan.
So you guys push past. Deke like kind of wiggles his way past Thalia and Robbie, just like basically like he's walking through his house, just like do moseys his way down. Easy as walking down a normal street. So you come back out to that central cistern, where the shambling mound is currently dead. And so, where do you want to kick? Where do you want to take him?
Well, here's the thing. You see, there are several hallways in this place. Hallways are there.
In the room you're in, there are currently 6.
Okay, there are 5 openings here in this. That one goes back to my house. We're not going back that way. That one over there with the X drawn on it. That one goes back through the way I presume you came in. Thank you for drawing the X there. The floor that I know is actually truly there, not just on your imaginary maps. So, check it out. You see that one right over there? Curtis,
Which
show
one
me the
does it
map,
point
please.
to?
It is the eastern one.
D.
Uh,
All the water that is here.
Sorry, it's reversed, I guess.
Yeah,
On mine.
that should work.
Thank you. So they came in from which
They
one
came in from the
was
south.
and E is where I'm from.
You are from A.
I'm from A. Okay. So we're gonna go through D. Okay. So this hallway right here, I point to D. This is the one that's gonna take you to your doom gloom. Are you?
But
You cut out right at the end there.
I said this hallway right over here. This is the one that's going to take you to your doom and gloom. Are you ready?
I like both of
Is-
those
is-
things.
is-
And I
is
start
that
walking
where-
towards the hallway.
Is that where the previous party went?
Sure.
Is that where the shiny men went?
Yeah, sure.
Sure or yes?
Are they any different?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Then yes, of course. That's where they went.
Are you positive?
I know these sewers like the back of my own toes.
And what's on the back of your toes right now?
Nails. Toenails.
Robbie leans into Thalia and just goes, do you have toenails? I do not have
Yeah.
toenails.
And what awaits at the end of this doom?
So Deke just kind of puts his hands on his hips and starts walking down the way. D.
Okay.
Can I trip Deke in the poop?
You can.
I don't like
try.
Deke.
I got the two on me.
Deke, give me Dex.
Dex save.
Give me a Dex save.
Mm-hmm.
With it.
I got the poo on me.
Yeah, just give me a straight up Dex save.
It was 8.
So you see the Goliath kind of the Goliath started making his way there, and you try to reach out past him, and he sticks out he kind of kicks his foot out, and normally you'd be able to just like kind of scamper over it. Unfortunately, Mr. Bojangles at that moment is hanging off of your right hip, and so your balance is a little wonky, and you kind of trip. You don't fall into the poo, but you definitely take a bit of a spill.
Sad.
But you kind of, you don't quite handspring back up, but you kind of tuck into enough of a roll that you don't lose any momentum.
So he doesn't have any poo on him at all.
There's no poo actually. This is where the shambling mound
Fuck.
Hygiene, very important.
I thought we were still in the loop. Sad.
You're in the loop. The easiest way to cross is through that center point where
All right,
the shambling mound was. So he kind of rolled through, and he's got like some leaves and stuff on him, but no poo.
Mr. Bojangles is just gonna lift one little paw and go.
Oh, I'm sorry,
now
I
we're-
slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah, of course. All right, this way. And I go down hallway D with my hands up here.
I say we follow him. He seems rather confident.
I don't like him.
He seems to be our only knowledgeable guide in this area.
Correct. Remember, we're in tunnels. Everything.
Oh, you cut out again for like 90% of that. You said, we're in
He turned
tunnels,
the-
everything.
Everything echoes, and he turns the corner and goes silent.
I said, remember, everything that goes tunnels. You know, I can hear literally everything you're saying.
I follow him.
So-
I follow as well.
Zach, you
All
picked
right.
a shit class. Damn it.
The actual shit.
Uh,
What
So
is
as-
Zach's class?
He's
I'm a
a
fighter.
tiefling.
Oh,
Or race, rather.
race.
he's tieflings are fun. So,
Oh, Curtis is very quiet
Oh.
now.
hello.
You're like the most quiet. Oh, now I don't hear you at all.
we broke Curtis.
This tunnel just eats all sound.
It does.
By the way, guys, I apologize. Voice. I committed to it on the drive up from Philly. And I was trying.
Better.
No,
No,
Just
not
do
any
it.
better.
No.
not at all.
I'm wondering what my parents are thinking of this voice right now.
He crazy.
Check one, two.
You're at
Well,
like a
you're quiet
1
again.
on volume.
Better.
Better?
Better.
Now you're at like a 4.
Better.
You keep
5.
going.
Better.
Keep going.
I'm super worried about.
Oh,
when this
God.
Oh,
comes
you're
back.
clipping now. Is your
Oh,
gain all the way up?
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
clipping.
you're still at like a 4 for volume.
I think it might have been your cable. Just wiggle your cable, see what happens.
I'm gonna mute real quick as to not destroy all of your hearing.
Come on, it'll be fun. Zach, do you know my backstory? Oh, he took his earphones out.
Just in time.
He muted Zach. You're good.
Better.
Yes.
Way better.
Better. Yay.
Need new cable.
Yeah, I just swapped out for this one. It's unfortunately it's a 100-footer, which is all I had on hand. Also, I sell 5-pin, not 3-pin XLR,
Mm.
because I sell the correct thing. Anywho.
Down the tunnel we go.
So down the tunnel. So as you guys are perusing your way down this main through pipe of sewage. Welcome to the part of the sewer that's just, it's gonna stink. Everyone's gonna smell bad forever, and it's fine.
Was this the smelly part?
This is the like, it smells the worst because it's where all the sewage ends up.
Got it.
And so as you guys are kind of moseying down this way, there's a pair of pretty wide walkways on either side of this this pipe. Wide enough for you guys to walk through, and it's actually, now you've reached it, it's probably a 30-foot circumference, so you guys can walk without having to crouch. Like, this is built to handle tons and tons of sewage and also runoff and stuff like that.
Oh, excellent.
So you guys are able to walk through, and unfortunately, this tunnel just looks like it goes on forever. It's a fairly steep slope. If this was you guys would be able to just like slide your way down it, but it's stairs conveniently, because otherwise it's really hard to get back out. But just steps have been chiseled into the side of this thing as water's just pouring and pounding past you on your left. Keep trickling down.
It's like that one strike on Destiny 2.
Bigger pipes
Bigger
and
pipes.
much more rapidly flowing sewage.
Okay.
Just so you know, little history here. This is where I grew up. This was the stairs we are on right now are known as the Stairs of Learning. That's right. These are the Stairs of Learning.
you
Mr.
were
Speak,
born
what have you
here?
learned on the stairs?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
What would you learn?
Oh, you know, rat law, rat taming, the history of rats. Don't forget, I had to learn rat. 7 years of rat I had to take. Can you believe it? 7 whole years.
How do you know what days are if there's no
How do I
sun?
know what days are? Same way anybody knows. I got a calendar. You freak? You kidding me?
Have you ever recorded any of your knowledge?
What do you mean recorded? Like,
You know, written down.
well, strictly speaking, it's reading, writing, not my cup of tea, not my strong suit.
Have you ever had tea?
I suppose I haven't had tea.
Mr. Teak, what do you eat?
Anybody have tea?
No. If
Oh,
I
that's
did,
a
I
shame.
wouldn't give it to you.
I seem to recall that we're going down the stairs of learning into the pit of eternal punishment. So, let's make our way down
That's a name.
I
down
make my
the
way
halls,
down.
please.
So as you guys come down the stairs of learning, the sluiceway kind of pours down and comes to another cistern. This one is significantly larger.
Welcome to the pit of eternal punishment.
This one's probably 500 feet across, and the walkway circles around the entire thing. There's a few spots where it's like an elevated walkway of stone over what looks like a steel grate. And there's just steel grating kind of all along the opposite side. And so the sewage and the water comes into the cistern and kind of swirls around almost into a whirlpool, but it
Like from
doesn't
Borderlands. The big
that
toilet.
I can't help you with.
Okay.
that
Yeah,
I
it's
cannot
just
help
like
you with.
this.
But it's kind of swirls and swirls, and eventually a lot of the debris gets thrown up on this outer walkway, and the water kind of spirals and it gets pushed through these grates.
Ew.
But
I was about to start taking out a book to jot stuff down, and I just put it right back.
there's surprisingly very little waste. There's very little human waste or food waste here. There's still a good assortment of rats. They're all smaller than Mr. Bojangles, despite there being inadequate food supply, which is interesting.
Very strong for a rat.
But there's just large amounts of there's money, there's like scrap leather, there's just like, it kind of just looks like a junk heap.
How
It's
much
just scattered.
money?
If you wanted to take the next 2 hours to rifle through all of this, you absolutely could, and I will determine an arbitrary amount of money for you.
That's tough.
But it's like there's glints of like metals and stuff like that kind of hanging around. Nothing really. That's not a terrible example, Chris, actually. Where
Yeah.
like you've got that water,
Nice.
but instead of draining out, there's grates along that bottom wall that the water is kind of like pushed up against, and it will drain out. And the mesh on the lattice work on these grates is thin enough that not a lot of stuff gets through. Stuff gets pushed out to the sides. However, and as you go in, the light of the sword is throwing. It's not throwing quite all that way across, but it is catching the glint of something metallic up against one of these grates, something large and metallic.
Mr. Teak, why did you take us down here?
If you do not address me by my proper name, I'm afraid our communication will need to stop.
We don't
What was
know
your
your name because you keep changing it, you whack job.
It's Croat. I told you the first time. My name is
my
Croat.
If I call you Croat and you disagree with me, I'm throwing you in this water. And I walk away to try to get near this metallic thing. See if I can find it.
What's your name?
Mr. Crepe? Is the metallic thing angry?
So I'm just going to go to my thing, and I'm just going to stare at him.
What thing?
This is my thing.
Oh, that thing.
Mr. Bojangles, like it's like, ooh, I know this part, and he runs up and sits on your shoulder.
You want to try again?
Can I perceive what this metal thing is since I have gotten slightly closer?
As you gotten closer, once you kind of got outside of the light of the sword, because you're one of like the 3 without dark vision in our party of 9.
Oh, this doesn't have like roof grates? Like this room isn't illuminated
There's
like the last one?
there's very little other light coming into this room because you've just gone down. Those stairs you just took were probably 250 feet going
Okay.
down.
I'm gonna
I'm-
walk with Chris because
You guys are at least 150 feet.
I'm
underground at
going
this point.
to take my big returney javelin and throw it over next to Thalia. And I'm going to ask,
Jesus.
Thalia, can you cast light on this for me?
Yeah. Slap light on it.
I call
Okay.
it back to my hand.
I'm just picturing her just being like, yeah, whatever. Like the Gibbs slap. And all of a sudden it starts glowing. Okay. So yeah, you now have a very brightly glowing javelin, and you're standing next to a very brightly glowing thingamadude.
Okay, so I want to do something, but I don't want a chance of losing my javelin. I would like to
Tell me
throw
what you want to do.
I would like to throw my javelin into the water near this metal thing, but I don't want my javelin to go through the grate, so I can't pull it back.
Wait, is the thing submerged or on top
I
of
thought it
it?
was on the wall.
The thing is pressed up against the grate.
Is it underwater or?
It's half and half. Like it
Oh.
looks.
Hey, it looks to me like you're about to throw that fine weapon. Now,
Oh,
I
you
have to
cut
tell
out
you
again.
something. Shit. It looks to me like you're about to throw that fine weapon of yours. Now, I must tell you something about...
Cut out in the same spot.
It is.
Same word.
This is a new bit, actually.
This
If
is my
any of you
favorite thing.
if any of you spoke to animals, Mr. Bojangles would be able to translate, but alas. Anyway, go on. Try again.
It looks to me like you're about to throw that fine weapon of yours.
Indeed.
That fine weapon of yours
Indeed.
into the water.
Possibly.
That's the part that we kept missing was into the water every time.
Now, here's what you need to know. Those waters are the waters of greed. What goes in does not come out. Except for, fine
Water?
linen. Yeah. Of course.
Things you do know that
As-
things sink into water, right?
As he said, nothing comes out. The tide gets out. There's a big kind of wave, and it splashes out. And there's what looks like a 10-gallon hat a very large and very eaten away duster, and some kind of like metal belt.
Oh, would you look at that?
I'm going
He's
to
like,
go
"Fuck
and
yeah."
pick up the belt.
Not feeling so greedy today, I guess.
I would like to go look at the metal mound that Chris is standing next to.
Again, this room is 500 feet. This one's in like the is along the north side wall. It's a 500-foot circle.
Mhm.
But so the belt
Is
kind
this
of gets barked up.
circumference or diameter?
It is 500 diameter. I apologize. 500 foot in diameter.
That's pretty big.
And so the hat and the coat and the belt get barfed up. And the belt looks it looks like the leather's been treated pretty well.
Uh-oh.
But it also it's got these very strange looking loops in it, like little leather half circles like along the middle of the belt.
Oh no.
The hat is mostly cloth and has been irrevocably soiled, and the duster looks like it would fit like just like a normal like a just like an adult humanoid of no particular race. It'd be very small on a dragon and would not fit a Goliath. But the belt seems it has all these
were gonna go for the duster, Chris.
has all these weird little coils in it that don't really make sense to anybody except Maury. You kind of catch like when you get a look at this belt, you see these little loops built into the belt, and it looks an awful lot like a gunslinger belt.
Ooh.
Like the only place you've seen this once when a not quite a circus, the Gnomish equivalent of a circus came through, and they had a guy who had he had guns. It was the first time you'd ever seen a firearm, and he had a belt like this one, and that's where he would keep his ammunition for these guns.
I'm gonna walk over and like check it out.
Yeah, it looks like it would fit an adult male.
No, I said I was going to pick it up. Do I not pick it up?
No, you're holding it.
Oh, I'm holding it.
I'm just over there.
Do I know what it is?
You're like, have you run into anybody who uses firearms before?
I have no idea. I didn't write into my backstory at all.
So that's a no. So you're just like, man, this is a really like these are very small javelins for someone to hold, but you can hold a lot of them. And
So
it doesn't. This belt is not built for curtsying. I don't understand.
Is it a small belt? Like, would it not fit
It
me?
is a human-sized belt. It would hit you. It would fit you on the very last buckle and would be cozy.
Well, this doesn't go with my wardrobe, and I kind of like flick it at Maury.
I catch it. Try to catch it, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, you'll catch it.
Is it like too small for me?
It'll be too big for you.
It's a little too big. If you
Ooh, do a
punch
Chewbacca.
punch some holes in it, you could probably fit it around your waist, or you could easily throw it on as a bandolier across your chest.
Yo.
Alright. That's the plan. All right, I'm stealing.
Okay. So you have a bandolier. There's nothing in it, unfortunately. Anything metal has been lost. Thalia, are you also examining this bandolier or this belt?
Yeah, I probably would be.
Okay. Roll history for me, please, and thank you.
Rat history.
18. Deke, if you want to roll rat history for me, go right ahead.
I think I have plus 19 in that. So
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I know.
I have
Where'd my-
plus 9. I have
I'll let
plus
you. I'll let you.
11.
I'll let you add your proficiency bonus twice to rat history.
Okay. What is my proficiency bonus?
It should be +3 at level 5.
Okay, so I rolled a 12. Plus 3 would be
+3 +3 +1. Because you're history is still
Wisdom.
So you got a 19 anyway. There you go.
Oh
So,
no,
yeah, like-
plus 4. Intelligence is 4.
Oh, because you're not proficient, so I'll let you add your proficiency to it. So you'll add 7 to the total.
Okay, got it.
I'm bad at math. That's why I went
Still
into
19.
theater. So what was yours, Thalia?
18.
18. So the two of you are like kind of looking at it, and Mr. Bojangles is like he starts like kind of twittering at his face and like starts like licking his hand and like patting down his fur, and he kind of runs over your shoulder and starts whispering in your ear. Thalia, you see, you remember somebody with this belt. You remember meeting somebody with this belt a couple of weeks ago when the mayor sent down. It belonged to a man named Dusty Drew.
Oh.
He was
Dusty
sent down.
Drew.
He was sent down a couple of weeks ago, or he was Dusty Drew on all the paperwork you filled out. And at first you were like, man, that's a stupid name. And then you met the guy and you were like, man, this dude is constantly Dusty. I don't know how he does it.
Hey,
He's like a chinchilla.
If I may,
Deke, real quick. You and Mr. Bojangles have a real quick conference. Mr. Bojangles remembers seeing this guy and 3 other people moving down this way.
I was gonna get at that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So, that thing you got there. Well, that was on one of the men that came down here, not just a couple of weeks prior, and they came down this way, never to be seen again. So, I mean, take that as you will. But you know,
That's what happened to Dusty. Ooh. Huh.
Did you see Dusty disappear?
Dusty. I don't know a Dusty. But
I mean, he
you're right.
was just covered in dust all the time. You probably would have hated him, apparently.
hygiene, very important down here in the sewers. Also, things I don't like. Just as a side note, I hate sand. It's rough and it gets everywhere. I do not like sponges. Sponges are very bad, and also jingly keys, fun for babies, not for Crete. But anyway, yes, your man. He came down here. Probably in a very dark and full end.
What is this pile of metal I see in front of me?
So the pile of metal you see in front of you, as you've completely abandoned them to talk about a man named Dusty.
I follow Lani. My glowing spear of justice.
So the fucking Just Us League decides to mosey on over, leaving the rest of you pretty much in the dark.
Most
except
of
for
them
the
can
dark.
see in the dark.
Yeah.
I was already walking towards the metal like, forever ago.
So yeah, so Lami, you're still with the group because this is while you guys are fighting over this belt, the magical mystery belt. And Lythar is gonna like kind of break away from the group and follow along. Robbie is just kind of standing there staring at the hat and the duster, and he like kind of reaches down and picks it up, and he's kind of just looking at both for a hot second, and he kind of looks, and he kind of freezes. He looks almost like a mannequin, just like holding these things in front of him.
Wait,
Can we have him put the
Frank-
duster on?
Sorry, what's Frank want to do?
Can Frank walk over and just kind of like bow his head towards
Towards Robbie?
yeah. So it, and then he just kind of like reaches out for the hat.
Robbie takes the hat and goes, "Oh," and kind of turns it and very carefully puts it on his head. Unfortunately, put it on sideways, because he's unfamiliar with the style of hat.
I'm just gonna mutter to myself, people die every day. There's more important things than shiny down here.
So,
Nice.
speaking of shiny things, Lami, you see what looks an awful lot like a full steel chest piece with on it, like embossed into the metal, is this enormous gray shield. This matte gray reflective shield is just like blazed into the chest piece.
Can I also see this? Because I
This is while you guys are arguing about the belt.
Oh, okay.
So this is like Lami and Lythar are going off to do their thing. And Thrall, Thrall, what are you up to while we get into the scene?
I think I'm gonna go over with Lythar and Lami.
Okay. So yeah, Lythar like kind of walks away and like throws a glance back at you because he's waiting for a cherry to come his way, and then he just kind of like keeps shuffling over. I'm waiting for you to pull out the bag of cherries and just like start throwing them at him. But that will I'll let you decide when you want to do that if you want to. But I'm waiting for it. So you guys come over and you see this chest, just like the glint is coming from the metal around this enormous shield emblazoned on this chest piece. And when you look down, you can see other shining pieces of metal under the water. And it does. There's not. It looks like a full suit because you're throwing enough light that it's penetrating down through like the white caps of this swirling whirlpool of shit. It looks kind of clean. It looks like a lot, especially above the waterline. It looks to be pretty intact and clean. But it doesn't look like there's a helmet anywhere nearby. But it looks like the rest of the suit is there.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna yell for Thalia. I'm gonna go, Thalia! I found a thing. I found a thing.
Okay. Gonna need a little more description than that.
It's a very shiny set of armor.
Oh. Do I recognize this as one of the other adventures?
Well, if kind of assuming that if it's off of the same group, and as you get closer, you see that matte shield on the chest. And you know that this is another one of the party members that got sent down, which I think I messaged you all of their names.
Yeah. Let me do it.
All of you?
I messaged just her because she was there when the original party was sent out. Because none of y'all were in the town yet, because that was like a month ago. I don't think you'd even met at that point.
No.
Ooh, Julian.
That was just a
Yeah,
month
I
ago.
don't think it ended well for this group. No, yeah, that was Julian. I think his name was Julian? I don't know.
Julian.
Julian. Yeah.
Well, Thalia, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you reckon Sir Julian still needs this armor?
Do you see him?
I'm gonna look around. Just
Give me
in
a perception
case.
check.
Excellent. 6.
You don't see him?
Okay.
I mean, you could always hold on to it for him.
I'm pretty sure he's gone. Down there.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So I think I'll keep it for him, just in case, and to make sure I don't lose it. I think I might wear it.
Lythar's like, yeah, it'd be really heavy to carry out. I feel like it'd just be easier to carry it. I think you're right.
I'm gonna wear it.
Okay.
It's too big for me.
Yeah, it's pretty bulky. So when you go to pull it out, actually give me just a strength check to pull it out. To like kind of work with the current and everything to
Can
get.
I help him?
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you give him advantage on that.
That's a 25.
That is a natural 20.
No, it was a 19, but I have a +1 to say, so it's +6.
It's not a save.
Oh,
It's not a save. It's just a straight.
just a strength check. Then it was 24. Sorry.
Oh no. Did you roll that at advantage? It doesn't
No, that
really
was
matter.
just my first roll, and I'm just
It
gonna keep
doesn't
it.
really matter. So you get down and with Thrall's help, Thrall kind of taking his glaive to get some of the longer pieces and just hook everything in. And as you pull it out, you find out that all the pieces are still together, because Julian is still in the suit.
I'm gonna look over to Thalia. Go, Thalia,
yes.
I found Mr. Julian.
Oh. I guess it's yours.
You
Might as
heard
well,
her.
he's not using it anymore.
It's mine now.
I suppose so.
So when you pulled his body out, Julian is actually just a straight up skeleton.
Oh my.
Oh.
Thalia, how long ago did you say this party came down here?
Oh dear, it was was it 2-3 weeks?
I believe it was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now
3
I may
weeks.
not be the brightest, but I do know one thing. That ain't right.
I'd have to agree with you.
Am I done arguing
Maybe
over the
Ratman
belt?
over there knows something. Mr. Yeet or something. I don't know.
So yeah,
take the
at this
armor
point,
first.
you guys are hearing like this ruckus as Lythar, Thrall, and Lami are all like working together to haul this thing out.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of noise happening in this little hullabaloo. And so if you guys want to mosey over, if you want to keep looking for some other stuff,
Other stuff.
if
For stuff.
so if you guys want to look while Lami is currently putting on this suit of armor,
I'll look while he's putting on the armor.
give me, everyone who wants to look, give me perception checks. We'll say this takes the hour that it takes him to put on a new suit, because it's an hour to doff and don armor. Actually, it'd be 2 hours, and we'll make it an hour and a half for flavor and story.
Ooh,
So
flavor.
you guys are down here for like 90 minutes, just kind of hanging out in this room, just kind of sifting through stuff.
I got
So
an 18.
I got some armor now. What armor do I have?
You are now the proud owner of a set of full plate.
Hey,
Is it full
plus
plate
3
without a
just
helmet?
'cause?
It is full enough plate. We'll keep the
Because
helmet.
I don't
We'll
wear
keep the-
helmets. I'm a dragon.
Yeah, it's really hard to make a dragon shaped helmet.
Oh.
It's expensive, prohibitively expensive. But yeah,
Oh, boy.
if anybody else wants to dig for any stuff in the GAC.
I got
I-
17.
As I put on my new slightly smelly armor, I'm just gonna throw away my old armor. I'm just gonna leave it in the muck.
Are you throwing it back into the pool, or just
Yeah.
in the crap on the side?
Just wherever the other set was, that's where I'm gonna throw this one.
Okay. There is now a.
Did you put Julian back in it?
I think that would take too long.
Where is Julian? What did you do with Julian?
I'd imagine I carefully took the armor off of him so that he remains mostly whole.
Deke, how do you feel about all these people rummaging through your sewers?
Listen, this is the pit of eternal punishment. Like, I don't come down here every day. I don't remember, but I said people don't come back from this place.
Why?
So, did I cut out again?
No, you didn't. I'm asking why they don't come back.
Yes, why don't they come back?
I don't know. I don't come down here.
You've never
You're
been
down
down
here
here.
now, so you might not come back.
I thought this
They
was your
didn't teach
school.
you that on the steps of learning?
Well, this was before the great cataclysm of '72.
And what happened then?
Well, there was a sneeze. You see,
You know what a sneeze is.
achoo.
Tell you what, we're gonna pause there. We're gonna let Deke figure out, and Deke is going to fill you all in on the great cataclysm of '72 off screen.
Excellent.
Before we go to break, so Chris, you rolled.
18.
Rachel, you rolled.
20.
Anybody else want to look through some GAC? Is that a nat 20 or just, or
Dirty
that's with
20.
your bonus? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
I like that.
Dirty
I
20.
really like that.
I got
Actually,
it from another show I watch.
Dirty.
That's what they
20.
called me in college. Dirty 20.
my dirty 20s.
They call me Dirty 30.
Oh,
Nice.
Anybody else want to dig through some GAC?
No.
Nah.
no, Deke
Nah, I
likes
think
clean
I'm alright.
things.
Okay, so we had a 19 and a 20, or 18 and a 20.
I'll take a 19.
So let's take 10. We'll be back here at 10:20. Well, take
Anybody
11.
get any updates from Kendrick?
Yeah,
He
got
just threw
started
some
working.
chats. He will not be joining us this evening because
Oh.
they had to close late.
Oh,
All right, I am stopping the recording.
Yeah, we're recording.
Hey.
We're back. Welcome back to 6 White Dudes and a Lady with a different white dude, but the same lady. We made that joke already, but it's good enough to say it twice.
Here we are.
So while you
I
guys
have
were
orc
rummaging,
friends.
we do have orc friends. We have one orc friend here. Look at us being diverse.
Look at us go. I'm a dragon. That's pretty fucking diverse.
You know, we don't have a human.
That's diverse.
We have a half human.
Yeah, we have
That
two
doesn't
half
count.
humans.
That
We have
doesn't
two
count.
half humans.
What's the other
we have
part
one.
of the half orc? Is it half human?
Half human.
It's
half
human.
human.
One of the two parents had a very specific list of needs that could only be met by
I need ice.
someone with tusks,
By their orc friends.
by orc roommates even. Anyway,
They were roommates.
oh my god, they were roommates. So anyway, now that we've brought back that vine from 2008, so as y'all fine folks were rummaging through the debris, after Robbie, real quick, Robbie put the hat on Frank. Frank helped Robbie into the duster.
This is as much as I can cross my fingers.
Zach made a mess.
Like in general, or like at
Zach-
all?
Chris, can you touch your elbows together yet?
I cannot.
Why?
I also
To be
can't
fair-
touch my shoulder.
To be fair, my dad also can't touch his elbows
Touch
together,
yours.
but that's because he is like Chris has seen my dad. When people
I've
say
seen your dad.
he's not a small individual, and he's only gotten bigger since I left for college,
He's like, this tall.
because he's the Goliath that Chris based his character off of.
Chris, if you want to touch your elbows and your shoulders, just do some morning stretches. You'll thank me.
Anywho, now that
That's
Back
we're
to 6 White Dudes and a Lady.
back to 6 White Dudes and a Lady. We during your scavenging operations, Robbie and Frank are now like kind of figuring out styles. But Robbie has put on this duster, and it fits. It's got just enough drape and flow that it works for him. And there's enough like, and you see his arm retract into the bracer, and it actually pulls the cowling back. It pulls the sleeve back when his hand retracts enough that it should be all.
Oh no!
And that's why we have character sheets, page protectors. Don't drink in D&D, kids.
That's why we have
Zach made
This
a
is water.
mess.
Yours looks
Um,
like Mountain Dew, Curtis.
It's not. It's actually delicious. Unlike Mountain Dew.
I like
Hey,
Mountain Dew.
don't hate on the Mountain Dew.
Oh, well,
That's great.
They found a duster.
So they found the duster. They found all the clothes. So they're playing Fashion Barbie over in the corner. So the rest of you, as you're kind of looking around,
What did poor Lythar find?
Lythar, actually, did Lythar look?
He found cherries.
Lythar should find.
So
Throw the boy a bone.
Lythar's walking around, and he
Finds
kind
a
of walking.
bone.
He actually finds kind of tucked against not on the piles of debris that have been splashed out of this, but tucked against one of the far walls against the other, like on the shore, but way back in a shadowy alcove. He finds he finds a body. He kind of walks and he sees, it looks like just a pair of shoes poking out of the darkness. But further back into this shadowy alcove is a body of just like a normal, it looks like a human with just like black leather armor, a couple of dagger hilts kind of poking out of like various convenient places to grab. But his head is all wrapped up in some kind of cloth.
Mm.
And his whole set of clothing is a little mottled with blacks and browns and grays, but predominantly just very, very dark leathers. But So as he finds this body, he calls out, Thalia, can you come look at this? I think I found another one.
Yeah. All right. Who is it this time? Oh, Quid. You were better than this.
Yeah, it's Quid. You've now accounted for three of the missing party. And Lythar is going. Oops, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I just realized that I should have done something to help me look. What
do you want to do?
I wanted to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
As it is
it's a thing you can do.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. As you begin your digging. So Quid is just kind of like,
hi, Zach.
Man.
Quid is just kind of he's tucked himself into a corner. Can you oh yeah, good golly, I forgot as a bard you're proficient. You're like half proficient in everything.
Yeah. She's good at everything. She's bad at
Jesus. Like
I'm bad at a lot of things and really good at some things, but she's good at everything.
Lythar's gonna try and figure out how Quid passed away. But that's Deke. Actually, yeah. Do you want to assist or do you want to take point on figuring out how he died?
I'll assist.
Okay. So he rolls. That's a 16. And that's not a 16. So Lythar is gonna he kind of pulls the body forward. And this body's been here. It looks to be around the same amount of time. This one is not. This one still has like skin and bits on it.
It's got bits.
And so he pulls the headscarf, and as he's unwinding the headscarf, like some of the skin kind of sloughs off with it.
Oh, ew.
It's not a pleasant thing. But once the scarf is off, you see it looks just like a normal human, but has very dark red eyes. Just like the iris is just this very deep red. Which is fairly common in for members of the Bleakwalkers to have that sort of enchant. It basically gives non-dark vision. It gives dark vision to people without necessarily giving them away. It's a fairly common augmentation for people like that. It's not cheap, but the Bleakwalkers can get away with that. And it looks like, as you two are kind of looking over this body, you start to see in the mouth, in the back, it looks like he had a false tooth with some kind of poison in it. That he cracked the tooth and took the poison. And that's how he died in this corner of the sewers.
That's not a great sign.
What's not a great sign?
He suicided.
Would have been the smell.
My intuition tells us we may want to leave pit soon.
So real quick with that, Ronan, you cast some sweet detect magic. There's a bunch of just like little sprinklings. The water has a whole riot of colors of different magics sort of mixed together. It honestly looks like somebody barfed a rainbow into this thing, and just the colors are starting to like stretch and twist and warp inside this whirlpool. It turns this otherwise dark room to your eyes. It looks like this just riotous mass of colors, and sometimes the colors just mix through. Sometimes the colors mix together, so you get like a flow of red, and a band of blue will come in and mix, and you get this super vibrant purple. Other times they pass through without touching. Other times they hit, and they just like the two streams meet, and they kind of rub up against each other, but don't go any further. So there's just this huge mass of mixing colors in here.
Color theory.
But what you see outside of this is a bunch of like little sprinklings of magic, just like it looks like leftover. And this was during your hour and a half while he was putting on his full plate. You found just a bunch of like expended rings, expended wands, just kind of garbage, except underneath, sort of tucked in a pile a little further away, is a brightly glowing, it's this glowing red, and it just this pulsing glowing red pile in the corner underneath some debris.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go poke it with my glaive.
No, God.
You
Jesus.
can't see it, Thrall. But if Ronan wants to tell you to go poke it, or tells you there's a thing over there, you can go poke it.
If it's pulsing, see, I don't know what that means with detect magic. Does that mean it's alive, or does everything pulse?
It doesn't necessarily pulse. This is not the fact that it's pulsing from your experience. It means that it is not. It's less likely to be natural. The mechanics of figuring out magic. This looks like something that's been created rather than something that exists to be channeled.
I'll go loop it with my javelin, all cautiously.
You know, like kind of, so as you kind of brush away some of the debris, you see a very familiar, or you see a shining silver sigil on the back of what looks like a piece of wood. And it's a very shiny, very fancy letter E. And as you
E for Electra.
As you clear away more of the debris, you start to see the shape form. You see that this E is put on the back of a curved piece of wood. Then as you clear away more of the debris, it looks like a hand grip. And you see this smooth, cylindrical piece of metal coming off the top. And what looks like a rotating chamber of some kind. And then a long barrel, probably 6 inches long. And right next to it, sort of once you start to clear away the barrel, you hit another piece of metal and you start to clear that debris away, and you see a matching one on the other side. And they're just kind of laying there in the debris, crossed at the barrels like this.
I pick them up.
Okay.
Is there?
What does he have? He has 2 letter E's.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's in
the
Ronin.
that's a gun manufacturer,
Is that what he has?
right?
Though?
I don't have my notes with me. I forgot them in Pennsylvania.
So
You got a letter from, right?
Yeah, that was a letter I got a long time ago.
Mari got a letter from a man with a
Yeah.
very familiar sigil on it.
Wait, is it 2 letter E's?
There's an E on each gun.
Okay.
So these are like revolvers.
These are to put it in a modern day parlance. Yes, they are
It's
a
a pepper
pair
box.
Six
of
shooters.
a pair of 6-shooters.
All right, I
I'm gonna
pick
look
them up.
over.
Is there anything else, or is that it?
It looks like just those 2. Yeah, there's really nothing else magical in that pile.
Okay, I pick them up.
Okay.
I'm
Do
gonna
I
look
have
over
them?
at
Nothing
Ronan.
bad happened.
Yep.
I'm-
Nothing disastrous has happened now that
Okay.
you've picked up these 2.
I'm
these
going
2.
to, because I saw one of these surfaces. This guy was twirling them on his fingers. I'm going to take the one with my right hand, but it'll have to be my pinky to fit in it. I'm going to
Great.
twirl it, and I'm going to go, Maury, look what I found.
Give me a dex check.
Oh no, I'm going to throw it in the water.
This is
Oh,
horrific.
no. Don't
You're gonna shoot one of us.
You're gonna shoot your foot.
Oh no, my
worry, check this
We'll
out.
shoot your eye out.
Shoots me in the head.
My
Yeah,
laptop
shoot your
turned
eye
off.
out.
'Tis the season for shooting eyes out.
A dex check. I rolled an 18, but my laptop won't turn on to know if I have a
Oh.
proficiency.
That ain't bad.
It's +2, so it's a 20.
That is
Nice.
a dirty 20.
It's a
dirty
dirty
20.
So-
30, 20.
you get your pinky in the grip and you're like, you start to spit it. You're like, hey Maury, look what I found. And you spit it just the wrong way, and your finger just clicks into the trigger, and you hear a boom, and a bolt of flame pings out, but you're holding it up in the air, so it just kind of pings around the room and doesn't hit.
I'm gonna hit the floor.
You're just gonna duck.
Just
Well, at least I know they're loaded now.
Right. So I'm gonna check out my envelope thing again. If I can do that. So it's like when I compare the sigils.
The E is the same. There's a little more stylization. There's a little more custom, like there's a little more flair in this engraving. Because it's a permanent piece rather than a wax seal. But the E is identical.
Yeah. Is there like anything relating to Mr. Dusty? Is it a different person?
There's no identifying markers on these guns.
Okay.
For who the owner was, but yeah, there's no real markers for anything on this. There's no holsters. There's really nothing. Unfortunately, the belt you have is just an ammo belt.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, I guess we should go see if we can figure out like where these came from, and we should go check out the range at some point so we can see like what the heck these are, because they're guns.
Actually, give me an investigation check real quick. Yeah, you're intelligent.
Maybe not intelligent enough.
Okay.
I got. You said investigation. I got
yes,
a
please.
7.
You got a 7. Yikes. So yeah, you're so after kind of handling these a little bit, you start looking and you realize the cylinder is a solid piece of metal. So like the cylinder will spin, but it doesn't look like it doesn't pop out to load anything. Just like the cylinder, when you pull the trigger, the cylinder in theory will spin, but there's no way to reload it. Which seems unusual for most of the firearms you've experienced in your time. So yeah, so Chris has found that, and Rachel, you also rolled. You don't find, aside from those couple of things, there's not really much to spot. There's no real clues about where anybody has gone. The closest you can figure is it looks like there's been some things have been moved near the water that don't quite match. It looks like something has like pushed through the debris and pushed its way back out. But
is my Javelin of Destiny still glowing?
How long does light last?
1 hour.
1 hour?
Oh, so no.
I probably would have.
Yeah, that's something to easily refresh. Also, Lami's sword is still sorting.
Hey,
did we decide that if I hucked this javelin in the water, I would be able to pull it back with the little enchanted thing?
I would think so.
You'd be fine as long as it doesn't get stuck on anything. That if things get stuck, things get tricky. Like
how much force can it like pull back?
If it's got line of sight or a straight shot to you, it should be okay.
Should be okay.
I'm going to pull out one of my little javelins.
Mm-hmm.
Thalia, could you cast light on this one instead, by chance?
I mean, sure, I guess. Slap.
All right. I'm gonna huck this little javelin in the hole. In the
hold
swirly.
on. Hold your horses. I can move it from this javelin to this javelin if you want me to, so you don't lose it.
Lose the javelin.
Yeah.
But
so
it's a little javelin. I have this big one now.
Yeah, but I can put it back.
But what if it gets stuck?
What if it doesn't?
Then you have to
Then
make
I
a
just
new
remove
one.
it from the stuck one.
You can only infuse at a long rest.
Oh, is that true?
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can do that infusion. It's a little more complicated than here's my doohickey, put it on the thing.
Okay, I got you.
What else do I have?
If you want to throw something down there to generate a light source, that's probably your best bet with the tiny javelin.
Oh, wait, I picked up my iron pot. I hold out my iron pot to Thalia and go, how about this one?
You don't want to wear it as a hat?
No. It's very hard to see.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a little small on you. Okay, sure, if you're sure. Slap.
All right, and then I huck this iron pot into the water.
Okay. As it starts to spiral its way down, because the current is this swirling mass of just stuff. You start to see, in addition to the riot of colors you're seeing with everything else sort of in this pit, you start to see
fish.
You're starting to see no fish. You're starting to see large piles of trash. Like there's pockets of trash where eddies in the current have kind of pushed all this debris together, almost like a solid mass of just gack. And so there just things kind of clump together. And you're just spiraling down. You do see skulls, you see bones, you see bottles, you see trash, you just see all kinds of different like sewage and things like that. You do see everybody give me a perception check.
Good deal.
Deke, make a check at advantage.
Cool.
It's a 16 for me.
19.
15 for me.
That is a 6.
Hold up.
I love the low rolls.
I also got a 15.
19.
I've been rolling really good tonight, though. So
you guys, those of you who scored above a 15, which is most of you, you do see some pretty big things move, like as this pot continues to just like swirl and sink its way to the bottom of the water column. You do see something moving.
Nothing. You're good.
Oh yeah, it is Zach.
Hi, Zach. Saw you.
Hi.
Oh, it's Olivia.
Hey.
I don't think she remembers me.
It's Curtis.
Oh my God, Curtis
There it
the
is.
Flying Bitches.
what?
Oh God, it is.
We have some stories that we need to know about.
It has been far too long since anyone's called me that. Anyway,
So I'm seeing things.
Now Josh cut out.
I think we need to leave.
it is. So you're seeing things move all the way at the bottom. This is
Yeah.
at like the very bottom of the pit.
It's
and
like 500 feet, right?
Remember-
it is deep.
Pit of eternal punishment, right?
Okay, name's starting to make more sense.
I'd rather avoid the punishment and
The
Quickly.
pot makes one final circle and then kind of rolls, and then gets sucked away out of what looks like an outlet at the bottom of the pit.
I think she
I
stuck
think
her
we
tongue
need to
out
go.
at you. Are there any other exits to this big 500-foot circle?
Not except the grates. Where
can't fit
the
through the
one we
grates.
came in through and the grates.
yeah, there's really no other way out.
Well, Core had
Got
to
it.
go somewhere.
Well, there were what? 4 other ways we could have gone?
Were there?
There are more ways. Yeah.
Let's go those ways.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this. That, they lead to more things. You're going to see more things. Different ways.
Weren't
Are you
there
ready?
only
Different in
two
which way?
two ways that Thrall saw
No.
footprints?
No, here's the skinny of it.
Yes.
We want to be going this way. Places to explore within the pit of eternal punishment. We just got caught up within, like, this little bit of it. Now, remember, God told us all. It's like 500. It's hard not to hear the
He
voice.
cut
We're in
completely
tunnels.
out of the middle of that.
It's like
Sounds
500. It's like 500.
Oh
Um,
God!
That was
Everybody
bad.
roll perception.
Aw.
That was close and that was scary. Rolling perception.
What,
I'm
my
11.
my call out?
Okay,
Closer
17
to
on
the mic.
perception.
17.
Wait,
I
what,
got 18.
what are we perceiving?
Perception.
Everyone roll perception.
Does Deke get
You're
advantage
gonna find
again?
out.
Deke, I'll give you advantage because of Mr. Bojangles.
Sweet. All right. It's going to be a 17, God.
Deeps, are you
That's
rolling
317.
for Frank?
I have not been rolling for Frank.
Uh,
Frank got a 17.
There we go.
Jesus, it's a magic number.
so we have how much? Who got above a 17?
What do you
I got
mean?
18.
Above.
18. Okay, as you were.
What do you mean as we were?
Carry on.
As you
So-
were.
So there's
As you
nowhere
were.
there's nowhere else that we can go in this room except through the grates or back the way we came.
Well, listen. This is the way your friends came.
We're
Yeah, but our
mostly
friends
looking
are-
for one
Our
thing,
friends
the
are dead,
shiny
and they
one.
weren't even our friends. The shiny one
Uh,
yet made an appearance.
well,
Did you see a shiny person?
Well,
And how shiny was he?
I take a lot of naps these days. It's tiring being a guy named Croat down here in the tunnels. What do you look like again?
He looked like a metal dwarf.
Shiny. Very shiny.
Well, I wish you had said metal dwarf. I would have taken you down way C.
Well, then let's go there. And I start walking back up the tunnel.
Okay. How far ahead of the group do you want to get, Chris?
Only like 10 feet.
God.
Okay.
Oh no.
A mosasaur jumps out of the whirlpool and
Not
eats
a
me whole.
mosasaur. I'm not gonna hit you with a mosasaur. However, real quick,
Initiative.
so as Ronan turns and begins to walk his way sort of back towards the stairs where you came from, all of a sudden from the waist up is covered in darkness.
Of my waist?
Yes. All of a sudden you cannot see anything.
Even with my glowy sword.
Ronan cannot see anything. You guys see that he is covered in darkness from the waist up.
Can I
So is he just like a silhouette now?
Sorry, give me 1 second. Ronan, what's your AC? 15?
Yes.
Okay. No.
big oof, buddy.
Oh god, where did I put it? There it is.
My AC is old enough to order beer.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know my AC.
Oh god.
It sucks.
No.
Oh, 16.
Where's that die? That's a D12. I don't want that.
Oh, the die. He's pulling out the D10. That's what he's going for. It
I'm not
happens at-
pulling out the metal die. They're still fine.
but he's getting the D10.
Oh, that's not a D10. I'm an idiot. It's 2D6.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't matter. So that is 10 damage to Ronan.
As a reaction, I'm gonna use Stone's Endurance, where it
How long does that last? Reduce
as
damage by
a-
1d12
as
plus
a
3
re-
per.
yes, plus 3 once per short rest.
Okay. So roll a d12.
Need to find a D12. It's very dark in here. This looks like a D12.
I can roll a d12 for you if you'd like. I have one
Rolled
of
a
those right here.
4.
Okay, so you
Oh,
negate
jeez.
7 of that.
Oh, nice.
So I only take 3? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So and
Can
Demonetized.
Curtis? What do I see when this is happening?
So real quick, I'm going to describe what Ronan sees. So Ronan, you took your step, and out of the corner of your eye, you thought you saw something moving, and all of a sudden, you are smothered in blackness, and you feel like it is this choking, smothering sensation, and you feel teeth kind of work their way over your head like this, and the teeth are like here.
Can I
right
try
now.
to claw them off?
When it's your turn,
Okay.
everyone else you see, it looks like the darkness itself has turned into some kind of creature and wrapped itself around Ronan, and it's sort of like trapped his arms down by his sides and has just covered his face. Everybody roll initiative.
Nice.
Perfect.
Shit.
Actually,
Yay.
real quick before we do that, I have to do the other attack because it attacks twice. That one doesn't do anything. Great.
Okay.
All right, and initiative time.
I got a 21.
It's gonna be a 14 for me.
23.
All right,
18.
Y'all's initiative bonuses are crazy.
I
so
rolled a nat 20.
I don't have
I
any.
also rolled a nat 20.
oh god,
Hey.
give me 1 second.
Aren't you so glad you found that plate meal?
I am.
So Lami,
Lami got a 20, a dirty 20.
dirty 20, Maury,
21.
21. How did Deke do?
14.
Ronan, how'd you do?
Also 14.
Who has the higher initiative bonus?
I have a plus
Mine's
2.
I have +4.
Okay, so Deke and Ronan. Ronan also at 14, but second.
You okay there, bud?
Um,
You're also the biggest
Brandon, how'd
on
you
my
do?
screen, just so you know.
18.
18. And
I don't think
And
that's very
Thalia.
funny.
23.
good golly, Miss Molly.
Jesus Christ.
And Maury, what's your initiative bonus?
+1.
Okay.
The hell are you looking at? What are you looking at?
So it'll be
Ghosts.
1,
Strange
2,
sounds.
Boy.
3, 4.
Boy.
Boy.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock.
Boy.
It's great. We have 30 minutes to power through this combat.
My
Where are we
laptop
going?
went to sleep.
In the direction of deer.
Real quick, let me do. Great. Awesome. So,
Price.
Thalia, you get to go first.
Woo!
Okay. I will. I'm going to kind of look around, a little panicked, and cast.
Give me a good one.
Yeah, I guess I will
Play them bagpipes.
Yeah, actually, I will inspire Lami. Since he
Oh no! What
asked
did
for
what did you
bagpipes earlier,
roll?
I'm just
Lami?
gonna shakily play This Little Light of Mine.
I do have a lit up sword. That's so good.
And do
If
Bardic
you can
Inspiration.
find this little light of mine, a bagpipe version, basically. So here's what I want. I want you to find as many bagpipe versions of songs you would use for bardic inspiration as you can. I once had a bard with an accordion. He found in a polka band version of Dust in the Wind that he played as a combat song, and it was perfectly appropriate, and he committed genocide with it. That's another story for another day. We'll get there. Anyway,
That's good.
So bardic inspiration. Going over to
I'm
Lami.
looking this up now.
Lami, you get to add 1d8 to your next ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
I
Yeah,
like those.
Can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
Absolutely.
So right now you guys are kind of clustered near the entrance, near like the base of the stairs. Ronan was not quite on the stairs when he got munched. So you guys are all still pretty close to each other.
Yes.
You're all within 30 feet. So Thalia, what would you like to do with your movement?
That was close.
Okay. Movement. How far away am I from what's going on?
You're the thing that's attached to Ronan. You're probably 25 feet away. You can see it. You're just not. You're within walking distance of it.
Am I close to the railing into the pit?
You can be,
If
or
I
you can
am,
be
I
up
just
against.
want to be. I want to be away from that.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness, Rachel!
Close up to the wall.
Oh my god.
Have you ever
What I
watched Parks and Rec?
No, I have not.
You don't go in the pit, Rachel.
Anyway,
I feel leaning in the pit. We all feel leaning in the pit.
anyway, so
Chris Pratt, dude.
we're gonna do.
Yeah, you shake that die.
Shake that.
Yeah.
Shake
It's an advantage because
die
you're
for me.
restrained.
Shake that die for me.
Because of what?
Because it's attached to your head, which is fine. That's fine. This is great.
Oh no.
That's a 22.
What?
What's that to hit? 23 to hit.
Oh, I thought that was damage. Yes, that hits.
No, God no. We'll get there.
It'll happen.
As he rolls higher.
That's 59 damage, boy.
47 damage.
Oh,
Rachel,
that's,
you're muted.
That's another 10.
You using cutting words?
That's 10 to Ronan.
Oh, she used cutting
Yeah.
words.
Oh,
She
as a
was
bonus
muted.
Oh,
action.
damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. A reaction?
As a reaction, yeah. To cutting words the damage.
Expend one use of bardic inspiration, roll a die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll. Okay.
That's a D8.
Yep.
Oh wait, what did it roll? 23.
Oh, that's the wrong dice. Oops, sorry.
It got a 10. Oh, wait, is this for
Damage is currently at
or is this
6.
for to hit?
6. Okay, so you will only take 4. Chris.
Oh, so it was for the damage. Okay.
It was for the damage, unless you wanted
Got
to
it.
make it for the hit.
I think it would hit anyway, even if she rolled
It would
an 8.
it would still
So-
hit. We're also a little
Yeah,
past
got
that
it.
point.
Mhm.
So and da da da
Thank you,
da.
Rachel.
So you feel the teeth of this thing start working their way down. Like they started here and now they're kind of pulling their way down, and they start to like work their way down to your jaw. And roll the other one. That's another one of that. 24 to hit.
Hits.
Okay.
This is going
Big
so
oof.
Ooh, that's rough. So you will take 10 slashing as its tail this tail that this thing has kind of whips around and starts slashing at your back and towards your legs.
This is going well.
It could be worse, buddy. It could be worse.
You're getting the suck.
The big
that means
suck.
it is Mari's turn.
Ooh.
right.
Oh, Mari, I forgot to tell you what your guns do.
I'm gonna pee for
They
Mari's
go
turn. Be right
pew,
back.
pew, 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 pew,
So
pew.
your firearms, each one of them will deal 1d10 fire damage plus your dex. And you can plus, so like it'll be just like a bow and arrow, 1d10 plus your 1d10 plus dex, and your offhand you don't add your dex. Because you're two weapon fighting, but you can dual wield them.
Nice. So,
Oh, I forgot to roll for Lythar. Shit. And Robbie. Shit.
oh no.
Hang on. Keep going. They didn't roll high enough to make it matter.
Robbie, use tractor cannon. Boops
Alright,
me
so-
into the pit.
You gotta
Is
describe
that why you
one
named
more
him
time what
Robbie?
I'm looking at. Is it just him like covered in black?
It looks like he's covered in and as the like nothing's really, there's enough light that you see. It looks like if darkness turned itself into this enormous kind of bat, like this huge leathery swath of darkness just like detached itself from the ceiling and grabbed onto Ronan.
Okay, so it's like a physical thing. It's not like
Yes.
a shadow. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, it is
I
a
think I know
physical
what this
object.
is.
All right, so I'm going to.
You better not spoil it.
It's probably not what it is because what I'm thinking of is really weird. So I will
Can I-
not spoil it either way.
I'm still
Never
figuring
know.
out this fighting thing. Can I cast a spell and use my offhand, or can I just cast a spell and move? Say I wanted to use my firebolt guy.
This is a cantrip.
So your bonus action. So you're casting a spell is not an attack action.
Right.
So you can do try to deal 2d10 with firebolt, or since it's each of your pistols is 1d10 fire.
It's the same thing.
It's effectively the same thing. You double your chances of missing, but you also double your chances of hitting, like statistically, because that's how that works.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Lazio!
I'll just shoot my newfound guns.
You hit me in the leg. I'm gonna be so pissed.
Sorry. There's no promises.
That's
All right.
okay.
I got us. Hold on.
Jesus.
To hit is what I roll plus my dex. Is that how that works?
Plus dex plus proficiency because you're using a firearm, which you're proficient in. So you will roll a d20 and add. You'll add 3 for proficiency and 1 for dex.
Okay. So I got a 21 to hit.
That will do it. Your fire. Are you?
Oh, I guess there's 2, right? And then I got a 15 plus, so I got a 19 for the other one.
Your second one, offhand attack.
It probably doesn't get proficiency. does it?
You do not add your ability modifier.
So it'd be 18.
Or is that do not add to damage? So you still add. You still add your +4. You add your proficiency plus that. You don't add it to the damage.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's 1d10. Your first attack is 1d10 plus 1, and your second one is just 1d10.
So did my second one hit?
What was your second one?
It was 19.
That'll hit.
Nice. All right. And then I got 3. Then you said plus dex.
So it'll be 3 plus 1, so 4.
Yeah. And 11.
Your second one is just a straight D10.
Oh well, I got a 10. So
Nice.
Give me 1 second to redo initiative order. 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck, there are 9 people in this fight right now. So your first one was 4 and your second was 10?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Ronan, take 7.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't make sense.
So you see Maury just like, might as well pull out these 2 guns. And both these 2 just jets of fire come out and ping into this thing. Ronan, it gets real toasty inside this little cocoon of stuff.
All right.
It's not a happy, fun time.
Can I tell?
Lami, did Lami roll before my initiative or after?
I don't remember.
Mine's
I didn't write it
14.
down.
Lami's next.
Oh shit!
All right, here we go.
I was really impressed that you burned that. Really, Mari, don't forget your Frank goes next.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have Frank run up to him. I don't know how far away is he.
Yeah, Frank's within running distance. He's got 40 feet of speed. So you can. So right now, all Frank can do is dodge. Because you used your bonus action to.
Because it's the
kinda
most
get in
important.
there.
Yeah. That's fine.
However, it does have the deflect attack to hold on to.
Right.
Which
We'll
may
just
be
kind of run
important.
up there and start running around like a mad robot trying to dodge whatever's going on.
This dude, you see Frank like kind of settle into a crouch with his sideways cowboy hat, run up and just start like making a bunch of racket. Lami, you're up, big guy.
What do I see going on right now?
So you just saw a piece of darkness detach itself from the ceiling and give your Goliath a hug. It's currently got his arms kind of pinned to its side. Like it's wrapped around most of his torso. And you can no longer see his head. It is just a piece of leathery darkness.
It's just pure darkness. That's all I see.
When Maury put 2 shots into it, you saw that it like dug into like this leathery hide on this thing. It looks alive. It screamed like it was alive when it got shot twice.
But it's hard to see, right?
On your you can see in the darkness against everything else. Like against the light of your sword, it looks more visible because you see where Ronan stops and this thing begins.
Oh, it's just a shadow. There's just a shadow.
Shadow. It looks like there's some kind of tail and maybe some wings. Like if you got closer, you might see like membranes and like something that looks vaguely wing shaped wrapping around the arms.
Okay. What do I see Ronan do?
Ronan just got bobbled by this thing. No one else he hasn't gone yet. He hasn't done anything to this thing that's wrapped around him.
Can I get right up next to this thing and Ronan?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you guys are all in walking range of each other.
Okay.
So yeah, you run up with the light of your sword. You see that this thing is like this leathery, enormous bat is the closest. Like the wings look like dragon wing, but they are more like they don't have like the thin webbing and the fingers that dragon wings have. This looks like someone carved. They took a piece of leather that's like 6 to 8 inches thick and just carved this creature out of it.
That's weird as hell.
That's the best you could, because it's a super thick piece of like natural flying. It's a flying creature that just looks more like it's like a flying manta ray, but with a lot of teeth. If you wanted to make a nature check, I could tell you exactly what it was.
I'd make a nature check.
Okay.
Oh, damn it.
17.
You have heard stories of something called a cloaker.
I fucking knew it.
Allow me to get you a picture. You've heard stories about it?
I did not expect one of these.
Dude, cloakers are great. Oh, come on. You bastards. Give me a picture. You bastards. And you know, as you're looking at it, you feel the same kind of trickling power that you felt when you made your sword glow.
Mm-hmm.
But it runs up into the back of your head and it feeds you this image. I'm going to dump it in the chat to aid those who are visually impaired. It's that.
I know
It's
what
that
that
big
is.
scary fucking thing, and it just wrapped itself around your barbarian.
Right.
You know that it's a cave predator. The main thing it does is it does exactly what it did to Ronan. It does drop attacks. It shows up and goes, "Hey, what's up? I'm gonna eat somebody." So yeah, that's what you know. Your divine Pokedex is like putting cloaker.
I'm sorry if this is too much because I've seen one before. But can I try and pull it off of Ronan?
Yes, you can.
That's what I'd like to do.
Your action.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Give me that sweet strength check.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh, what's my
inspiration if
strength?
you want it.
You have inspiration and bardic inspiration.
I know, and I don't need it because I got a 24.
Oh, that dirty that nat 19, that clean 19. So yeah, as you run up and you feel it tickling in the back of your head, and it goes, remove that, get it off him, and you just like, with your sword in your one hand, you basically like wedge it kind of in there like a pry bar. And so
Nice.
Ronan, inside this suffocating darkness, you feel this heat, and all of a sudden this blast of silvery light just lances through the darkness you're in, and you feel the smothering darkness get pulled against your face and then let go as Lamy just rips this thing off you with his non-dominant hand because he is pissed.
Cool.
You can breathe again. Hooray.
I take 29 points of damage.
No, not yet. We'll get there. And so this thing, just like as it pulls off of you, it shakes free of... Actually, does it shake free? Give me a second. Give me another strength check here, buddy boy. Lamy.
You got it. Here we go.
Do you have inspiration?
Can I use my bardic inspiration?
Yes, you can.
Excellent. So 22 total.
Yeah, this thing, like, you grab it and you basically grabbed it right on the shoulder where the head meets the rest of the wing. Just ripped this thing off, and it's like it starts flapping and trying to thrash itself away, but it can't. You've sunk your nails into this thing and you are holding on to it. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'm pretty sure that concludes my turn. I don't do. Unless no, I can't use extra attack because I didn't attack to begin with. So.
Correct. Thrall, you're up.
Who did
you're
I tie
muted.
for 4?
How far away are we? Still, for the people in the back, are we
The rest of you are you're within 30. You guys can mosey on up there.
If I attack it, am I gonna hit?
No,
Lobby?
you'll be fine. He's holding. I'm assuming he's holding it out like away from him because it's still trying to bite.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's not. It's a big target. You can take a swipe at it.
All right, I'm gonna move within 10 feet for the max distance for my glaive,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna attack.
Okay. Give me that attack roll.
17.
17. That hits. Roll that sweet damage for me.
14.
14. Good golly.
Good
My
golly
gosh.
jeebus.
You rolled a 9. Holy shit.
Yep.
All right. Okay. And I think you have extra attack.
I do have an extra attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that just happens to make another swipe.
All right. So I do hit and damage if I
You have to roll to hit again.
I got a 12.
That one does not hit. So you run up and you get this sweeping kind of overhand strike with the glaive and just cut right along one of the wings. And you're kind of swinging around and go for the other swipe, but it's flapping around a little too much and is hard to hit. So that is Thrall. Lythar gets a turn. So Lythar has kind of kept himself a little bit at distance. He is going to just pull out his bow and he did level up. Good. Yeah, he's gonna make a bit of bow shot and actually
Zach's smiling. I don't like it.
so Lythar's gonna take a shot. That die was cocked. That's a 60. So he is kind of tucked in the back. He pulls out his bow. Super easy, like he's done, like not even really thinking about it. Just
Forget about it.
Making it look easy. And the next thing you see is this arrow just flies out of nowhere. It looks like it just appears in this thing's chest. That'll be
Chris, that is a perfect GIF. I expect to see that in your video. That's the best GIF I've seen in the past 48 hours.
Jesus.
Thanks, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
Spook.
So, he just takes the shot. This arrow ends up. He was shooting for like the chest, but it ended up punching through like one of the wings. It definitely hit the thing.
Chris, that's you.
Did not do quite as much as he had hoped. But he has Colossus Slayer, which I need to remember because
He needs to remember that. Jesus Christ.
good golly, Miss Molly. All right, that's a very important addition. Because
It's a D8.
it's an extra D8. He did more damage on the D8 than he did on the attack.
That's why it's important.
So yeah, he just takes a chunk out of it with a bow. So that is Lythar. So it is Deke. What would you like to do, my friend?
I would. So I'm gonna
Oh, you cut out.
on my rapiers. I have 2 rapiers.
Ooh.
Here they are, and I'm gonna go running for the cloaky.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to make 2 attacks.
You gonna stab it?
I'm going to stab it. So, the first attack that I'm going to roll is going to be a one. Flipping around here. Number 1, because is that plus my dex with rapiers? Or no,
With rapier, it can be dex because it is a finesse weapon.
So that's a 9, which doesn't hit.
Correct.
And the second one is
You got a
going
2?
to. Yeah, I get 2 attacks.
No, you got a 2 on your roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, my dex is +4.
Right, plus proficiency.
Yo! Oh no! So then
So plus 3 is a 12.
Okay, so I got a 12 the first one.
Still doesn't hit.
Okay, and so
Knew
then
it.
I like making them do the math before I tell them no.
so
A
wait,
good habit to be
It's
in.
good. It's good life skills.
where's my proficiency modifier? What is the again?
Plus
It's
3.
next to your armor
Plus
class.
3, and so then my next one's gonna be a 20, dirty.
Dirty 20. Okay. Cool. So yeah, your first swing goes a little wide because this thing is flapping like crazy. Your second swing, however, gets a nice stabby point
Nice.
into this thing. Give me that sweet damage on your second attack.
Oh, and actually,
And you can extra. Do you want an extra attack?
yeah, let's extra attack.
And actually, your improved critical does not work in this
Okay.
instance.
I rolled an 18, so that's plus 7, 25 on the extra.
And you get an extra second attack.
Nice. So I can every time I can pull 4 hits. That's wild.
Yeah. You're a dual wield. You're a dual
20
wield extra attack fighter.
21 on the second.
Great.
So I
you're
get
gonna
3
hit 3
hits.
times.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
And you will
what do I
add
roll?
your
What do I roll for my rapier? It doesn't say here.
I think it's a D8. I
The
think.
D8. Oh yeah, 1d8 plus 5. All right, let me find the fancy D8.
plus.
right?
Well, if you're rolling, it's 1d8 plus dex plus proficiency.
Oh, so 1d8 plus 7.
plus 7 3 times.
So
Just roll
that's
3
11.
D8s.
That one's 9. And
20.
that one is 15.
35.
So
Hot damn.
you see this tiefling just pulls his rapier and just kind of he has them like kind of like what Ronan was doing with his with the pistols, except he's doing this. He is much more practiced at this than you are. He just spins him around, flips, catches the hilts in fighting, just ready to go, and just turns into this whirling dervish of steel and just 4 quick stabs. This one goes a little wide. The next 3 just hit, just like bam, 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 and this thing screeches.
Zach, I want to know. You're the
What?
only person who has out DPS'd me
Nice.
this whole time.
I can do that every turn too.
And I aim to change that when and if my turn comes around. Because I have extra attack now.
So don't be too trigger happy because and I'm adding Kendrick to this call because he just got home.
Kenny.
Hey, buddy.
I don't.
Can he be?
Can he be? All right. So anything else you want to do, Deke?
Don't think there's really anything I can do.
Because you already used your bonus action. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're done.
Hey, you know what? Hey, can I action surge?
Oh my god.
Hold on. Let me
do it.
I'm not gonna try to take the time to set up my webcam because it's gonna. By the time I get it up,
if you want to take that
We're about
action,
done anyway.
I'm
If
gonna
you-
do it. Action surge.
Do it.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
So you get the hold on. I'm confirming something.
Uh-huh.
No. Gotta do some reading.
Oh no. So I was mistaken. You get one bonus action per turn. So you do not get, so you can attack 3 times,
Not
4
4.
if you action surge.
Okay.
So your first one, your bonus action, then your extra attack.
So are we gonna take
We're
away my
just
action?
gonna keep going. We're gonna say that the one that missed never happened.
Okay, can I action
retconning
surge
it.
now though?
You can action surge. You will get one extra. You will get 2 extra attacks. You will
Cool.
not get your third for the offhand.
Cool. So first one's gonna be a 20,
First is 21. Okay.
and the second one is going to be a 22. That was
That'll hit.
14 and 15. So now 1d8 plus 7 for each of those.
Correct.
Yeah. So that one's gonna be 14. And that one's gonna be 15.
Cool. How do you want to do it?
Whoa!
I might as well quit while I'm ahead.
So I run for this thing and I'm like, yeah! And I leap as far as I can into the air with both raised in the air, and I go to plunge both of them into its mouth, like midair.
Yeah.
Am I holding the thing?
And
still?
so the rapiers go out the back of its head, and it just kind of like starts collapsing to the ground, and I like it down onto the ground.
Okay.
So
So
I'm holding it still, right?
Lami is still holding it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing holding up your really cool images. Like, so you do this like kung fu leap, like you've done this whirling dervish of damage, and you're just like, and you stab this X pattern through this thing's brain, and it just like, and it goes limp.
Dude,
You're holding onto your rapiers. Lami is holding this thing up, and Lami just is like,
I'm gonna say, as soon as he stabs it and I see that it's dead, I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, just so you know, tiny man, that's my job.
Did I just do? How much damage did I just do? 35 plus.
you dealt over
64.
60. You dealt over 60 damage.
What is this character, Zach? What are
Deek's
you?
too OP, man.
We'll
What?
we'll tell you later, Kendrick. We're about to wrap up.
Deek's too
Um,
OP.
So yeah, y'all motherfuckers have just murdered this thing, and it just kind of like slumps to the ground when Lami lets it go. So yeah, and that's where we can end, unless people want to have any conversations, any sidebars, or we can circle back up and
I
sort
think
of
that's
do
an
it next week.
excellent point to continue at.
Cool. We will call it a night from here. So here's the question: do y'all want to take a short rest?
I think it's a smart idea, but I'm not
Short
the
rest.
party.
Is anyone going to heal during the short rest?
I don't have anything to heal with.
I
you
can
should have
heal
hit
you,
dice.
Chris.
I
Because
don't
if
you
you
have
should
have
have
anything.
hit
hit
dice, you
dice,
can
I
burn.
can
I
do
would-
Song of Rest, which gives you an extra 1d6.
What's
I
a
would
hit
like
dice?
to.
As
Yes.
the DM, and this is your freebie. This will be a longer dungeon than you think.
Okay.
So be very cautious of when you burn your things that come back on a long rest.
Chris, how many HP are you missing? I know.
I'm at 31 out of 55.
So how many is that you're missing? You're missing
24.
14.
Okay.
No, 24.
Hey, sorry for stealing everybody's combat there. I didn't expect to do 60 damage.
I wasn't expecting those numbers. To be fair, also that cloaker, I needed something else with the cloaker because just on pure action economy, I didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 of us against 1 action.
It's yeah, multi-attack is great.
No,
I would.
anyway.
you guys,
so-
I can only do that once per shift, like
I
with
would
the
like-
with the action surge.
I'd like to
Wait,
use.
is Song of Rest only a once per long rest?
I gotta find Thalia. Oh, I'm on Thalia's page. Why the fuck could I not find that?
It's on features and trades.
Poetic Inspiration, Song of Rest. At the start of a short rest. No, that is literally any short rest. You can do that.
It's any short rest. Does anybody want an extra d6 for
I think Ronan's the only person who took damage.
Yeah.
Do you want an extra d6?
Can I only burn 1 hit dice per short rest?
You can burn as many hit dice as you want. However, those don't come back until a long rest.
So I have 5 available, and it's 1d12
Can I
3.
interject a little bit?
Mhm.
I'd like to use Cure Wounds on Ronan.
Ooh.
On a first level spell slot.
Okay. If you would like to burn a spell slot, absolutely.
So that is a 1d8 plus 4.
All right, y'all. I'm out.
All right. See you, Zach. Thank you for playing.
Yeah. Hey, let me know. Are you guys not going to be playing until next Monday again?
Correct.
That is the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
Same time,
let you
same
know
channel.
if Deke can reappear, or
That
if he
would be
vanishes
lovely.
into a cloud of dust after killing the cloaker.
Or
Or he turns into another metal man.
yeah, we'll
You'll figure it out.
talk more. But yeah, we'll
Hey.
figure something out.
That was fun.
Yes. It is fun. Come more often.
Yeah. Right.
Ooh, now Brandon's
so,
big.
Total, I'm going to heal Chris for 10 hits with a first level Cure Wounds.
Okay, that brings me to 41, so I can do 14 more. So I could just use one of my hit dice and hope for the best. 'Cause that's
Hit
12
dice
plus
plus
3.
So yeah, if you do a hit dice plus a d6, you should be at full. If you guys want to take that short rest here.
Yes, I think a short rest is a good idea.
Yeah.
Hold on. So for the Song of Rest,
Yeah, what
something.
little something. Here comes the demonetization.
Hold on. I don't know how to put stuff. I just put it in the Discord.
There you go. That's a good spot.
I rolled a 10 on my d12, and it's plus 3, so I am now at 54 out of 55.
That'll do.
You add a d6 because she played Song of Rest.
Oh,
So you're in full.
So
point.
you're full up.
cool.
You have to skip ahead a little in the video to get to the actual bagpipe, but it's there.
I love it. I love everything about this.
I
So
hope you know I jumped into YouTube and started making a playlist.
perfect. That's what I love.
That's excellent.
Hope y'all are ready.
It's a
Yeah,
very bardic thing to do.
And yeah, so that is where we will leave off. Everyone is kind of standing around the body of this cloaker. That
Can I
you're
harvest
trying
anything from the cloaker?
A cloak.
Can I
it's
like
mostly
chop off its leathery cloaker hide?
what tools do you have?
I have hand axes.
Give me a nature check with disadvantage to harvest this thing.
Well, let me
hand
see.
axes are not made for this.
Oh, I have the hook monster's arm. Leather workers tools.
That's
That
a
would be-
thing.
I would allow that.
That's applicable.
Okay.
Are those not on your list? I only see Smith's tools.
They're in my inventory.
I have a dice set. If
I
anybody
got a
wants to
rock.
gamble, I will win.
got a rock.
It's okay, Rocky. You take
I
your
don't
time.
see a. What did you see?
You're proficient in Smith's tools and
Mhm.
land vehicles.
Yeah.
Of
And
course,
proficient
it's
in
land
wagons and smithing.
Yep.
So yeah, with your leatherworker tools, I will let you. You're not proficient in them, but I would let you do that just as a street roll.
18.
Ooh, I was hoping for a 2.
You get a decent amount of skin off this thing.
Ooh.
So you might not be able to. You could make a full cloak out of it because of the size, and the holes that have been shredded in this thing by an angry tiefling with a pair of rapiers.
Rip. Our Goliath has a cloak of invisibility.
But you could make like
He
a
is the
mantle. You could make like a shoulder mantle or like a hood of this thing.
Okay.
If you had the right people to do it.
You might
I'm
find
also
them in
gonna
a town we've
hop
been
off
to.
here.
Bye, Brandon.
Bye, Brandon.
See you guys.
But why?
I'm gonna stop the recording.
And yeah, that seems